Would you like to post for me?
Um, what do you mean?
Do you want to shout out the stream on the Discord?
Um,
Or
yeah,
do you
hold
want
on,
me
let
to do
me.
it?
I figure you can do it. Just like if you want to mention that I'm in it, that's fine though. And then I'm gonna go on Twitch and host it and stuff.
Okay. There we go.
Wait,
Hmm?
nothing. I just made a noise. I tend to do that a lot.
Jeez, I'm going all over the place with Windows.
Not allowed. Okay, I have hosted you. Let
Thank
me
you.
test something here. I said Bangladesh in my own chat. It did not show up in yours.
What's tapping? Oh.
I like the rapidly flickering frame rate down in the corner.
I don't know why I have that on. It's just to make sure this runs at 60 frames per second. Got a beautiful story about that one on my old computer, though.
Hmm.
Okay, how do I turn that off?
I'm gonna go ahead and pop out my chat, and then I'll just tell people to move over to the other one, I guess, if I see someone talking in it.
Alright.
Once I figure out how to do that, because Twitch chamed everything. Chamed. There's the pop up. So am I audible through the stream? I have it muted.
You should be audible, because I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I just unmuted it for a second. I heard myself, so I think we're good.
And just to be clear, I am perfectly audible compared to the noisy sound effects, right?
Well, I can't hear any noisy sound effects right now. I just hear you.
Well, even if you can hear it, good thing it's not the chow sound effects. Because A, I haven't prepared that, and B, the current one is annoying.
Yes.
Okay, now that people are actually here,
Yeah.
today we're going to be streaming... I was going to stream Bikdip's Adventure 1, but I did a practice run of that, and oh my gosh, is it not friendly to be playing through it again. I had a beautiful time with it.
Yeah, basically, I've been, like, he's been trying to convince me to be in this stream for a couple weeks now, and I was very hesitant to do it because I really fucking hate BA1, and I was also just kind of generally busy, and so now I, like, actually had a few days where I could do it, and I'm just like, I guess. And then yesterday is like, hey, can we do a different game? I'm like, yes, thank you. Like,
like, I was rusty at Big Tits Adventure 1, and B, there was too many paywalls, and I had to grind for 10 minutes at least 3 times.
hmm.
Hey,
So I've watched a million people play through this game, but
Oh gosh.
I actually somewhat like this one still, so it's fine. Emotidot.
I might as well use the intro here for those who haven't seen the game for some reason.
Of the 3 people watching, 0 of them are okay, makes it sound horrible. Okay, game's too loud.
Okay. Should I make you louder or game quieter?
If you can make the game quieter, do that.
Cheat. No. Uh,
Everybody to the limit. The cheat is to the limit.
where? Okay. Mm, 168. Everything 168. That better? That better?
Saying words that I can hear myself through the stream.
Now I can definitely hear you over this loud Mega Man 2 intro music. I swear, this is like the loudest track in the game.
It is pretty loud. I think it's better. But yeah, I mean, we'll just... I think they're saying to go even lower, but I can't really listen to the stream and listen to you without there being, like, really awkward echoing, so I don't like having it on.
You want me to make it quieter, chat? Like, this is the loudest track in the game. At least I think.
There might be worse, but it's hard to say.
Yes, make it quieter. Oh right, I don't have a freaking sword. That's another thing about playing BA1 is just having nothing to work with for like the first 2 dungeons. Because I actually did not have the... Good.
You said in BA1 you didn't have anything to work with?
Pretty much. I only had the... You know, we can skip the intro. We can all...
It's
Okay.
always good when the game just starts out and you immediately die.
Or I could just retry and then not do the intro. And for some reason intros also count as that. As you can see, I'm still rusty at Zelda Classic.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
level 1.
I will always say that this is the best of the 3 games I've made, but it is not without its design flaws. The beginning is a little bit unforgiving. Just be thankful it doesn't have the original enemy loadout.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, might as well tell the story I had with BA1. My last playthrough of it is like, I was about as rusty at it as I am right now. Honestly, I died like 3 times before even level 1. Mainly because of the frickin' Armos RNG. And, which one should I take? Which do you think?
Up to you. Boomerang is the easier pick. Are you just going to be doing like a regular playthrough, or are you going for 100%? Or like
I want to
low
try to
percent?
100%. What would be best
Okay.
100% wise?
You get the upgrade for both anyway, so it doesn't matter. If you're going for low percent, you have to pick Candle because you can play the game without Red Candle, but you do need Magic Boomerang. But
I mean, I do like causing damage.
Okay.
Well, anyway, died a lot of times to Armos before level 1, and pretty much for the early game, like, I'm already bad at Zelda Classic as it is. Like, if I do have the sword, I fight exclusively with sword beams. The moment that's taken away from me, I just can't fight.
Hey, go back in there.
Oh, what? I can take the boomerang?
I think the game glitched out and it's letting you take both, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and consider that a 250 bug. I don't know if you could have done that in 192.
I'll specifically not use it until I get the magic boomerang.
I mean, do whatever you want. This game's 10 years old, I don't give a shit if it's broken. We've already broken the hell out of this game with the save warping stuff that Captain figured out. So what's a little bit of extra items?
Didn't meant to go in there. I was half tempted to continue. I'm half tempted to continue, but I'm worried that will flip me at Zelda again.
It shouldn't.
I can continue in here, though. I don't know how to do the super quick that.
What do you mean?
The super quick.
Like continue warp?
Yeah.
You're using F6, right?
No, I'm using the player 2 trick.
Oh, yeah, you can just hit F6 unless they change the shortcut for 250.
Oh, I have to press X6 and then enter?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind. But anyway,
Oh, is the graphic for shooting flame upwards glitched? It looks like it might be.
Yes.
Good. So for the record, you're currently in the boomerang half of the dungeon,
Oh.
and you're trying to not use the boomerang. So I would say just go ahead and use it anyway.
I wasn't even paying attention.
I'm curious, actually, if you burn this tree, if you can just go straight to the boss. I don't think you need Magic Boomerang to do this.
Well, I can fulfill your curiosities if you so wish.
Yeah, I think you can just reach those without it.
I can just barely hit these.
You won't be able to kill the boss because you don't have any bombs yet, but you could at least get to it.
I might be able to grind rupees here, though.
True.
Man, farming for rupees in BA1 just... The best way I know to grind rupees in Zelda 1 at least is to go to level 2 and kill the early room ropes. Because they tend to drop 5 rupees. A lot.
And I know a good way to grind rupees in BA1. It's called, use the cheat code.
I would have used...
Justin Bailey is real 2041, I think.
I would have used the cheat code, but Zelda Classic flags you for using cheats. That goes against 100%, yo.
For the record, there was a compass in the previous room, but I'm sure you don't care.
I actually do care. I'm the one person who plays Zelda that actually cares about dungeon maps and compasses. Or just all treasure in general. No? I don't...
It's a push. You have to push into the blue one. I forget which one it is, though.
There we go. Despite how many times I've watched you guys play this game, I barely remember this game at all.
That's cool. I will... How do you want me to handle backseating? Because I don't want to be super annoying and be like, hey, you missed a thing there, oh my god.
I'm a perfectionist, so I like going for every item. However, the one thing I won't do is filling every nub in every square.
Okay.
Because Zelda does do that. Do I want to go this way? If I had the map... No secrets in here, right?
Nope.
Alright. In BA1, I know the secrets were, like, slightly obvious. The quote-unquote secrets, whereas the puzzles are not. Which should be the other way around.
Yeah, probably.
And this game, I think that's the obvious. The opposite. How do I get that?
Leave and come back.
Oh.
Yeah, dungeons have, there's no way for secrets activating on screen to be permanent if it's a dungeon D map. So for stuff like that, it's like you burn the trees and it changes the state of the room, but then as soon as you leave and come back, it resets.
Hello, Burglar, aka Goria. I like to think that the NES graphics for the Gorias look like burglars. Don't ask me why. I seem to remember burglars with rabbit ears being a thing.
I'd have to look at the sprite again. I think I remember them having like big mustaches.
One of the dark luck chow I've made is actually based off of that. The rabbit burglar. I say this only knowing that Nabbit exists.
I like how Nabbit and what's the guy? Ravio basically happened like a few years apart, and they're very similar.
Rabbit burglar. Anyway, where was I with BA1?
Something about root beer.
Root beer, because I was clearly drinking root beer at the time. But yeah, basically BA1, it's okay first time-ish, but any more than first time is just, it's worse than it actually is. Oh, right button.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very well-made game. Like, it's not 100% trash, but I was, what, like 13 or 14 when I made it. I didn't have any... Oh god, this room. Do you remember how this room works?
Yes, I remember very well. Light the room on fire and you're dead.
Pretty much. There's also a way to cheese it, but this is fine.
Also, the grid movement in this game. Or not this game, but Zelda Classic in general, I hate the grid movement. It especially shows how much I hate it when it involves you have to move along with the squares.
Yeah. I've gotten used to it, and I basically... The only time I ever have a problem with it is with the conveyor belt movement.
The button resets darkness? I don't remember that.
That might also be a 250 thing.
250 bugs might be worth showing off. Because, to me, I thought it was the definitive version for a while that can play just about any Zelda Classic quest, except 210.
Can it not play 210?
Well, I know for a fact 210 quest won't work with 250 because the whole enemies will be different type thing. How do I kill these? Without...
You're not supposed to. The way this dungeon works is there's 2 maps and 2 compasses, and there's never a reason to get both. But it's designed in such a way that the first time through, you'll see a map that you can't get without the item from the other half.
Oh. I'm so bad.
Boomerang half of this level is easier. Because there's only so much you can do with a shitty attack that you're able to use once per screen.
Oh, right, because I have the red candle at this point. You know what? I'm just gonna go do the boomerang half. Because I hate this whole one fire per do thing.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'm glad in this game you don't get it at level 8. Why does every quest give you the red candle at level 8? Like, it's not even that powerful.
I don't even know. I think in my first 2 games, I did that because I just kind of forgot it existed and I needed to put it somewhere. I think I originally planned on having it in level 5 in Mitch, and then...
What?
And then I had to, like, push it forward because I needed other items to be in that level instead, and it was, I don't know.
Why is there 2 compasses?
There just is. It's 2 compasses and 2 maps. They don't do anything different.
Oh, does the other one disappear if I collect?
Huh?
Does the other one disappear if I collect one?
No. I mean, you already had the other one.
Oh.
It's just designed to be able to work from, like, whichever order you do decides in.
Right.
Oh, why, you mean the witch's will?
Oh, I forgot to notify someone else. Because someone else I know likes watching me play, too.
Har.
Nope, the alarm. Someone's in the room with me.
Oh my god. What are we gonna do?
Like, no matter when I record or where I record, someone will be in the room with me. And it doesn't matter what room.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
And if you hear someone from like 20 feet away, that's also normal. And squeaking.
Man, I'm loving how the graphics keep messing up.
Okay, down, normal, up, not normal. Why? Why is up not normal?
I'm thinking this version just doesn't like the BS animation.
So doesn't the version recommended to play BA2 anyway.
To be fair, that one only has problems with the hammer and with the swimming.
I wonder if this one will.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And then it turns out it somehow just uses the unused swimming graphics that I drew and then didn't actually use. The button at the rupee appeared. Yeah, there you go.
I thought it was gonna be a reset, and I'm like, ha! Give me that map.
Burn the map.
Thankfully, I chose not to burn the map in VA1. I did it the cheese way.
Like, the cheese way makes more sense.
A lot more sense. Burn the map is just a meme now, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, I put it in the intro to BA3.
I'm looking forward to BA3.
Well, you're going to be looking forward to it for a while.
Pretty much. Oh.
Okay, so just to make sure you remember how to do this, yeah, it's best to kind of clump them in one place and then just use one bomb. Originally, this game did not have a bomb shop, and if you used all of them too early, then you were basically soft blocked and had to restart. Thankfully, somebody called me out on that, and I added the bomb shop.
Speaking of soft blocks, or quote-unquote soft blocks, I'm still pretty sure you can soft block yourself in VA1 if you use dungeon keys in secret doors.
Probably.
I still haven't tested that out myself personally, but I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, before you go this way, go back up a room.
Yes.
The central spot in the loop on the map does have a secret in it. You can access it from any of the 4 directions. I didn't mention it because I was waiting to see if you'd figure it out on your own.
Oh, right. I was gonna use a bomb there. Ooh. Better save this throughout level 5, because I need a potion when getting past the 4 million boulders falling down from the ceiling.
You will actually be forced to use that potion before starting level 5.
Huh?
So you will actually be forced to use the potion before starting level 5. Because good game design.
Okay, now let's do Candle Dungeon. Because I have the ability to cycle through items, I must cycle through items and not do the Zelda 1 way.
I mean, yeah, I don't like pausing to
I
switch.
suck at cycling through these items because I don't know what order they're in.
That's definitely something that is helpful to learn. I've just kind of learned it over many years of playing through quests in this.
How is Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, describe, like, the difficulty.
It's pretty hard. It's usually not bullshit hard. I would say that when my games are difficult, they are bullshit hard, just because they throw too many enemies at you in small spaces and don't give you enough items to deal with them. That game sort of does that, but it's more just... It's extremely long, and, like, they do put in difficult enemies early on, and because the dungeons are so big, you just kind of have to go through long stretches of dealing with stuff without necessarily being able to heal that often. There's also no heart containers, so to increase your health, you do have to get the heart bases, so it's a little harder to, like, progress that way. And you have to really work for your upgrades, too. Like, all the swords and the rings and stuff are all from, like, mini-dungeons.
I see.
It's a really good game. Like, it's not perfect, but... Oh, in this room,
I forgot. Mirror. It's a mirror.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say in that room you could, there's, like, a way to just kind of cheese it. I was gonna explain it when I get back.
I know how to cheese fighting Gorias, or just about anything with projectiles not called magic.
So yeah, for this room, just don't actually go through it properly. Yeah, just
Damage boost.
Yeah, it's a lot easier that way.
Because when you have more than half a heart, you get a damage boost. But I don't get a damage boost when that would bring me pain and misery. Okay, nothing in this room, right?
Nope.
All right.
You've gotten all the secrets in this level.
Oh, okay. Had to do it. Okay, now how do you... Okay.
What's the point of making the collision of the area make sense? If the walls aren't, like,
Maybe it's
intangible, then it's just no fun.
Maybe the block is secretly flipping. Like flipping inside out. Anyway. What other stories could I tell? Probably what I did yesterday when I was digging through my school binders and whatnot, seeing what I found. Interested?
I mean, you can if you want. I don't know what I'm going to talk about other than just repeating the same bits of trivia that I've said about every room in this game, like the last 20 times I've played through it.
Oh, before I ask, what do you think is worse? The repeated jingle that I'm doing now, or the jingle I replaced in the Chowstown font, which was just
Probably the original one. I'm so glad you can turn that off in 192.
Dang. Don't die from a bat. That would be sad.
Yeah. You should be good.
I don't know if you ever heard the boomerang in the Chowstown font, but it was just squeaking.
I did watch through the video where you had it on. It's been a while, so I don't remember.
For those who don't know, I could show what the sound effects were like. I could just do it through the grabber right quick, if anyone wants. Because I actually have a not full screen version of grabber, and OBS and this computer in general does not like full screen at all. Why is bats a censored word?
Is it?
These aren't bats highlighted and then automod.
I don't see that on my end.
Well, it is on mine. I will allow it because why?
I'm going to allow this.
Because why should it not be allowed? Hello, Vulpix on steroids. That's what the roar sounds like. What was the sound I replaced for this? Was it like... Was it like... Was it just throwing a tantrum? Alright, we have to bomb the horn. I believe he has 6 HP.
Well, it doesn't matter, he's dead as shit now.
Okay, there's a graphical one.
Yeah.
He just faces backwards. The emotion dot is now holding the Triforce.
He's drinking all the butter.
Maybe he's not holding it, he's just looking at it. Okay, now, level 2. I do not have 5 hearts, so I can't pick up a sword.
It is impossible to have 5 hearts before at least going in level 2. You can get 4 heart pieces between the first 2 levels and the overworld, so you don't have to actually complete it, but there's very little reason to actually do that, because you'd have to backtrack a lot.
I can't wait to fight certain enemies, because I learned some interesting strategies against some of them.
Interesting stuff.
Like, some interesting strats against Dodongos, against Darknuts, Gorias. I already said the Goria one. Or did I?
I know you at least mentioned something about it. I don't remember.
Well, when I fight another Goria, I'll try to show off.
I know you can just stand in front of it, wait for them to, like, shoot or throw their thing, and then block it, and then attack after, but I don't know if that really counts as a strategy.
That is a strategy, but that's not the way I fight. Like, in fact, that's not... The strategy against Gorias I use is basically strategies I use against pretty much every enemy that isn't a Darknut. Right now, here I do what?
I think it's on the right half. I don't remember the exact one. There we go.
Okay.
Now let's get accosted by levers.
Leave me alone.
No.
Sure, I'll take a...
Oh, okay, that's a 250 bug.
The fact that they can drop clocks?
Yeah, they're supposed to be disabled.
Okay.
If you see them, I mean, you're welcome to pick them up. I don't think there'll ever be a situation where that'll screw you over. The only time I could think where it might is, well, I don't know if they're set to be temporary or not. Because if you have a thing where, like, you have to kill all enemies and the clock makes them stop spawning, like if they're something like levers where they have to pop out of the ground, that could be a problem.
What about 40-headed Gleeok?
I think it would be fine with that.
No enemies. Okay, what do I do here?
It's the bottom screen. I think it's the one right above where the grass stops.
Not really much of a visual indication there, if at all.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much, this is just the check for the red candle, because there's no way to actually force it, but this way just makes it inconvenient to not have it. There is a heart piece around this area, though, if you want to look for that before you,
Is it in the thumbnail of every Bikdip's Adventure 1 video?
What do you mean?
This formation of trees, the second screen of BA1, is just the one of 3 options for the thumbnail in every single video.
Good.
That's why I call it the thumbnail screen. I did not find a had. Do I burn the rock? No, I can't burn the rock. Bomb?
No, it's not bombs. I never actually said it was on this screen.
Oh. Anyway, I suppose I could tell the story I had finding stuff in my school binders and whatnot. Just basically my experience in school was just I was good at math, but as the grades go on, I just get progressively worse. Not because
So,
I'm not able to learn, but because I'm unwilling to do it.
mm,
Like, the higher grades in math goes, like, the more it just overstays its welcome. It's like, it's bad enough that, like, stuff like algebra forces you to go through at least 10 steps just to solve one problem, but they also have to make you do it, like, 20 times per assignment.
yeah, I always found that kind of annoying. So here's a very pointless story. My, I think it was trigonometry class
What is
in,
that?
like, what?
What is trigonometry?
Have you not done anything with that? It's,
I actually dropped out in 11th grade.
oh. Um, well, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but for me it was like the next step after algebra and geometry. It's mostly just learning how to calculate like the angles and lengths of triangles and like using that information to apply to other stuff. But I had a class for that in one of my, I think it was my second to last year of high school, I don't remember. And for some reason, my teacher would have us do this thing where every day we had to like, just we kind of just had to write a little bit about our day. In like they would give us a paper for the whole week, and it would be like separated into squares, and you would just write something in the square. And it was kind of odd because it felt very like kindergarten-ish. But so I remember one of the first days I basically wrote in there that like I'll always try my best in this class, but when it comes to doing homework, if I ever have a lot of homework from other classes, this is probably going to be my my lowest priority, because math homework is just do the same thing 50 times in a row. And so like
With nothing to mix it up.
I don't always feel the need to do it. So it's like, I understand I'll be getting zeros on these assignments, but I also kind of don't care. And then, like, she would always respond to everybody's little things after every day, and so that one was just like a frowny face. It's like, oh well, I hope you still do it. I'm like, okay.
Okay, see, the problem I have with math assignments is, like, not only do I have to do the same thing more times than I need to, they just don't mix it up at all. On top of that, it just has to follow with the same assignment, has to follow with about 4 times as much work with a different subject. Like, I have to go through that much just to mix something up? Like, come on. It's already soul-sucking enough as it is. It's especially true in algebra. I just not only didn't have the urge to do it, I refused to do it. I refused to even start most of my stuff. In my binder, like, there's hundreds of papers that are just untouched algebra assignments.
Lord.
And my best subject is surprisingly English. I guess it's primarily because, unlike many other stuff, it actually mixes up a lot. And I like reading. There's so many ways to mix it up that I just feel compelled to continue. Really?
There are hints in this room. They're just very, very tiny and hard to notice.
Well, let's see if I can tell just by looking at it. I could not tell. I can see, like, cracks on the ground.
Like little pebbles. There's a few spots where you have to notice where they are.
The most I see is, like, cracks on the ground.
I mean, I think you're seeing them. It's, yeah, there we go. There's, you can either look at the pebbles, or the other answer to this room is just, it's always number 2.
please die in one hit from fire? Like, I thought red was supposed to be very effective against blue. Or vice versa. Also, extremely loud microwave.
I wasn't even really noticing.
Anyway, continuing on. The one...
You need to be going back down there.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the microwave. I can't even hear the game.
See, I don't even hear the microwave, but, yeah, you're going the wrong way. You needed to be back down there.
I'm like half paying attention, sorry. Okay, so back down. Oh, right, I have a key. Keys go in locks. It's just like bombs can explode.
And raisins are nature's candy.
Oh gosh, the bombs can explode thing. So, I have a story with this one. I'll just disregard the school thing right now, but like... When I was playing Final Fantasy II, there's bomb enemies, right? And one just literally called bombs. And, I was so fed up with the game at that point that I just sped up through every battle, just not caring what I attack with, so I just spam attack by holding A. And when I was fighting bombs, I quickly noticed that I went from like 2,000 HP with everybody to like 200. I'm like, why am I suffering so much? Why about that? Oh, right, bombs can explode. And my sister laughed so hard when she heard me say that.
Oh, hey, it's this screen. The one that isn't a puzzle, but I was proud of anyway.
So due to the bombs can explode, it's become a meme at that point. There's other bomb enemies that are called, like, balloons, mines, and grenades. So I'm like, balloons can pop. Mines can blow up. Grenades can self-destruct. Or whatever. It's difficult to come up with a thing with mines and grenades, because they do the same thing. They blow up. Balloons don't, they just pop.
Alright, so now that you've gotten the moldy bottom of the well cheese...
Which can't be moldy, because it's a living creature.
What do you mean?
You know, the strange creature. We're in the strange creature world, or at least we're controlling one. Or excuse me, we're controlling a Chow's Emoshadot.
I didn't realize an Emoshadot was actually a thing related to that. I thought it was just a name you made up.
Speaking of that, let me bring up some picture.
No.
Yes. So, I made this a while ago. It's a Bargo the Bikdip Chow. I can't give it a third eye, but I can at least make everything yellow.
Yeah.
Except the wings. It even has that smile.
Smile is pretty good.
And there's Bargo. He's just a Emoshadot. Get rid of that. Unlike Zelda Classic 1.92, I have to focus on the screen in order to move. The screen must be focused. And now the game's running smooth.
Oh, was it having problems before?
It was more like a 40 frames per second. That happened during my playthrough of BA1 too, where the game had noticeable skips. Oh, I have to bomb that. And then
this was an interesting room to set up because well, now you've already moved past it, but basically you can only ever really have one secret per screen, but on that one I've kind of found a way to stretch the rules a little bit because
that's not how you move up a ladder.
Half of the ladder appears by. Well, okay.
What?
Gotta
Why
go
am
back
I
up
down
now.
here?
It. I had to do that for other reasons, but basically, um, half of this ladder, the one that you just made there, appears through the what the game calls the stairs secret combo, which is kind of like a holdover from the NES game where, like, if you push a block, it creates a staircase that isn't actually tied to a screen secret. And then the other half is from blowing up the one thing. It does like a flag 16 or whatever to make the other half appear. So it basically counts as two separate secrets, and it's like the only way to manage to pull that off. So, I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat.
I find it very interesting that screens seemingly have more than one secret. That intrigues me a lot. I like
I think,
I like the idea of working with limitations.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted to stick with 192 for my game, because I just wanted to see what I could manage to pull off without using anything more advanced.
Question to let me know for later. It's only one heart piece per level, right? Unless it's inconsistent.
Generally, yes. Levels 4 and 7 have 2 of them in, I think.
Okay. That reminds me, the fire shooters. I
If you
don't
wanna
care
use
what
the
I'm playing.
potion-
I don't care what I'm playing. Fire shooters suck.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Even if it's just one, I hate it. I hate obstructions that you can't deal with. How did I leave? I started at the beginning.
I think it's because dungeons have that thing where, like, when you enter them, it automatically makes you walk a couple steps, and because the entrance to this level is really awkward, it, like, spawned you and then immediately made you walk up into the, like, exit tile.
Also, during my playthrough of BA1, I was just checking, going back and forth in every single room to see if everything worked, because I remember in my LP that in level 6, I tried going back, and then just top left corner.
Yeah, stuck in a wall. I remember that. I did not know that bug existed until I saw you do it.
And I tried replicating it, nothing. I don't know
No,
how.
it's still in there. I checked. There's a warp that I didn't set correctly.
And that's
And
like
when I made BA0, like in the NES tile set, I made sure to replicate that glitch.
And I believe that's like the one room in the game that's like that too. If I remember correctly. That's start. Okay, so question for anyone, really? What are Vires supposed to be?
I always thought they were vampires. It's like Vire, it like is vampire with some of the letters missing,
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
and they turn into bats.
I should probably have chat on my screen, shouldn't I? Okay. Anyway, finally continuing with the subject of school, well, I really only have anything to say about math, really.
Notice how you're off the map?
Oh, right.
Yep, it had to be 2 identical screens here, because I had to make it so the tunnel caves led to each other, and this was the only way to do it.
Oh, I never noticed that. I thought you could actually lead to the same room.
No, because, like, if I did that, then
you can't go back?
Yeah, you can, like, in newer versions, you can set multiple warps per screen, but in 190 and 192, it would only be, like, you can set one tile warp. I would have it lead to the same screen that you're already on, and so, like, you'd go through the first tunnel, come out of the second, and then if you go in the second tunnel, you would still come out of the second. There would be no way to have it lead somewhere else.
Okay. So let's finally get out of this not quite chibi robo stage.
Dank ass cave.
Like, that totally reminds me of chibi robo.
I can kind of say that.
Oh, I find it very strange that Red Goma was the boss of level 6, but then level 7 immediately Blue Goma. With fire shooting from statues.
Good.
Difficulty. Stare at a heart container. Okay, so anyway, you know what I do find hilarious, at least in my school? Like, my high school has, like, a class specifically for fractions, decimals, and percentages, which is, like, middle school-ish, right? I find it funny that my reason for being in that class is not for that, but to work on subjects I'm
By the way,
struggling at.
just to interrupt here, if you want to do a save warp to appear at the beginning of the game, that'll save some time.
Oh, that took a while to load. No.
Always.
Okay,
There is another heart paste you can collect if you want to do that before getting the sword also. Or I guess get the sword, but then get the heart paste before starting level 3. It is on the beach somewhere.
I swear I'm not trying to run into levers on purpose.
Sure you are.
I'm pressing right, and Argo goes up. It's just like in Final Fantasy X-2. If you hold up, fall into a pit, land in a different map, you go left, despite still holding up.
Makes perfect sense to me.
I kind of know why it's doing that, because technically you're still moving north, and you're still holding north. Or at least, if that makes sense. Because the camera can rotate.
I guess.
Good.
You do have the sword now.
Oh. I instantly forgot.
Yup.
That's my memory when talking about subjects. I talk about something else briefly, and then immediately forget what I'm talking about. Instantly. Okay.
Oh my god, the graphics in this. Why?
It's funny. Now we can see his expression.
This is why we have to play this game through DOSBox in 190, even though I've tried that and it doesn't fucking work. I don't know.
I wonder if it would work now.
But anyway, yeah, there's a... I would recommend getting the other heart paste. It is indicated, but if you go through the screen that it's on without noticing it all...
I guess. Luckily I can pull out the map, and pull it out repeatedly. Anyway, back on the school subject, don't you find it hilarious that middle school has the fractions, decimals, and percentages type class? And my only reason for being in it is not to learn it, but to use it as a special ed class to work on my other assignments. That was my only reason for being in it, just for another special ed.
I see. I guess I don't really understand how that works, but yeah, for me, I think for me, well, I had junior high, which is slightly different from middle school because it was only grades 7 and 8. I think middle school is 6, 7, and 8. But for me, I had 7th grade was pre-algebra, and then 8th grade was algebra, which was a step above what the normal curriculum was, but a step below the curriculum that most of the people I knew were taking. Because I was like in the accelerated set, but like they had a separate test for math specifically, and so I was just kind of like in the middle one. So everyone else that I knew had algebra 7th grade and then geometry 8th. I was one step behind that, but I don't know what the lower step was, because I think they did algebra 7th, like 8th, and I don't know what the hell they did 7th. It might have been the thing you're describing. But yeah, I don't know. Math was always just weird for me, because it's like I didn't enjoy it, but I wasn't horrible at it until I got to algebra 2, and then fuck that class. that was like, I think that was the first class I ever got a C in.
Mm. Well, you see, as I'm working my way through math upwards, it's like I never had a problem up until the complicated stuff past fractions. I'm not sure what is past fractions from what I remember, but like, again, my problem wasn't that I wasn't learning, it was that I just had no motivation to work on the assignments, because not only was it progressively more soul-sucking, but other things in life was getting in the way.
Yeah.
Every single math...
You can go back to the arrow, there's nothing else to look for here, unless you're just grinding money.
It's okay. So like, up until algebra, every teacher I had would give me the special treatment to very, very help with my motivation, because they clearly see that I have potential. Every single math class that I took, I was always at least 2 grades above everyone else. Not kidding. Not a single person was close to me. They obviously see that I had potential, if only I had the motivation to continue working. So they wanted to help me out with that. One thing I very much remember is one teacher I had would hand out candy to me if I did well. That definitely helped me out. Some teachers would like come over and talk to me about a couple things that helped improve my mood, and sometimes they would allow me to be in a different room for some peace and quiet. And so that definitely helped. When I got to Algebra 2, though, I got none of that. Like, at that point, I so did not care anymore about school in general.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that being an issue. I never really had a point where I considered school to be pointless, but there were times where I definitely had classes that I just sort of didn't give a shit about.
Okay, let me do this for a bit.
I mean, I'll tell you what the 100 one is, just to save you the money. If you want to pay for the others, then that's fine.
I want to at least see these to refresh my memory, because I know I didn't do this because I'm not supposed to know this until this game. Maybe I could show that off. Problem is, I don't have the BA1 save on this version.
Well, you'd have to play all the way up through like level 6 to get to it, so I don't expect you to do that.
Slash the 4th rock from the left of the staircase on this familiar screen and walk up. Okay.
Yeah, and then speaking of algebra, basically you go up there and it gives you like a, I forget what it was, if it was a, I forget what you call that. It's the kind of, the expression where you have, like 2 sets of parentheses and I think like an exponent, and you just have to solve for x. It's really stupid. I don't know why I put it in there.
I don't mind doing stuff like that. And speaking of, and algebra continued. Oh, okay, but ignore that for a moment. Let me show you my strategy against the dongos. Don't be on the block. Don't be on the block axis. Be on the half block axis to them. I bombed both of them at once.
Nice. I think I try that sometimes, and I feel like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
See, the hitbox for what you have to hit is their face. And since I'm a half block away from them, they'll never eat the bomb. They'll always be stunned by it.
That's cool.
Oh, I have to bomb that.
Yeah.
Bomb the bomb to get the bomb.
Here's the other part where you can soft lock the game.
Yep, and play the whole close to an hour worth of it, which isn't that bad.
You have to use it and then save afterwards in order to screw yourself over, so I always just kind of hoped that people wouldn't do that, given that this screen tells you specifically not to.
Okay. Let's save and immediately waste it. Had to do it. Oh, anyway, continuing on, back to the fraction class. Oh my gosh, can people just not learn fractions? Like, not to offend anyone, but like, in my class specifically, what I've seen, just
Yeah,
no
I mean-
one got algebra at all beyond like halves and quarters or wholes. It's like, you learn about halves, fine. You learn about quarters, fine. 1/8 maybe, 1/6 maybe, wholes, fine. The moment you be like, oh, 1 and 1/2, people are like, what do I do? Or like 1/3, 1/5, anything that's not a multiple of 1/2.
15/16 of a byte.
Like, even if we try to replicate it from pi, people still don't get it. You kind of have to learn at least fractions to know how to, like, handle cooking, right? You have to learn at least 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4. That's all you really need. But no one in my class could comprehend it that well. Okay, this is Cutman.
No, this
No.
one is Guts, man.
Oh, Gutsman.
Guts, man!
I see the... Okay. It's like... Class, do you not know what pie is? Cake? Do you not know how to split a triangle or rectangle? Do you not know what sharing is?
Yeah, I never had problems with fractions, but I think my mom did, and so, like, I remember when I first got to that level of math, and, like, whenever it was, like, probably 4th grade or something, she would always just say, like, well, if you ever need help with it, then don't ask me. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Hit by everything.
Martin is notoriously bad at everything mathematical, so I'm just kind of used to that being a thing.
I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Okay, now let's get the... What do you call Gutsman's weapon?
Super arm.
Oh, the super arm.
So, I think this is the first instance where the game has color-coded blocks that show, like, which ones are forward direction and which ones are up and down only. This will happen many times throughout the quest, and it is never consistent. It changes every single time you get one of these puzzles.
Oh, I thought the white blocks were left-right only. Apparently they're not.
The trick is to just go into this one from the left.
Okay, so the white blocks are all directions, but the blue blocks are up and down only.
Yep. So, yeah, you have to do it from the left. There's no way to do it from the right.
Okay.
This is your left. That's your left. This is your right. You're gonna die.
Oh, do it dish way. What about dish direction? Or dish direction? And the gimmick in this room is what? Oh, that you...
It's just a back. It's
Oh.
just a way to get back.
Oh.
Yeah, trapped.
Yeah, good
six.
design.
It was your own damn fault for going up there.
That's okay. I don't mind doing the same thing 7 times. It's not soul-sucking at all.
I can do it. I can do it 9 times.
Yet I'm perfectly willing to grind out 99 of everything in any game.
There's been cases where I will do something similar to that, but there's a point where I have to draw the line. It's like every time I would do a like a full Pokedex or a living dex, people are always like, "Oh, don't do it with all shinies and all level 100s." I'm like, "Can you fucking count, please?"
Like, no. Like, someone's not that soulless.
I mean, there are people who have done full shiny living dexes. I
wonder if anyone succeeded.
That much. No, I know somebody could. Like, there's a few legendaries that are shiny locked that you can't get, but other than that, I think somebody did manage to get one of everything.
So here's
and, like, not necessarily. I want to say it was like mostly without relying on trades too. Like, they just managed to get everything on their own. But my God, the number of wasted hours.
Okay. Let's see. Let's find out. No. Only the fire boomerang stuns them.
Yep.
I just learned that when playing VA 1. Also, you can just cheese dark nuts from this side.
Right. That's kind of why I set this room up the way I did. I wanted to give people an opportunity to do that. Here's the part where some of the bushes are real and some of them are fake.
Only a machete can cut these bushes you see. Not your sword, a machete.
Nothing could possibly climb over this foliage.
But if it was a horror game, the machete could be used one time before it breaks.
Or if it was Breath of the Wild.
Oh right, I want to go that way. No, let's sync it up. Door. In case anyone doesn't know, this is obviously a Mega Man 1 theme level, or levels. I want that rupee. I'm a perfectionist, dang it.
Congratulations, you are the first person in all of the known history of the world to ever get that rupee.
It was so worth it. It would be even better if I already can't hold them.
Yes. More bushes.
Speaking of, since we're on Mega Man, I could tell my history of playing Mega Man. Like, I tried playing Mega Man 1 as a start. You can clearly see how that went. And, I didn't know the weaknesses and whatnot. This was before I watched your stream a bit, where I knew the weaknesses. And I know this level is based on the order that you personally do them in.
Yeah, and that order is specifically the order that was recommended to of Game Informer that went over the anniversary collection for the PS2 and GameCube. Because that was basically my first introduction to the series.
So, the first time I played, I went through it in like clockwork order, starting with Cutman. So it went Cutman, and then Gutsman, I think? And then Iceman, right? And oh boy, Iceman.
Real fun, yeah.
Like, I could
really I mean, really, that game is just a piece of shit. Like, let's just be honest here. The actual stages for half of them are awful, and the actual boss fights for half of them are awful. I would say that without having the proper weapons, Bomb Man and Cut Man are definitely the easiest. Yep. Guts is like tolerable.
I can
Elec Man is basically impossible, and the other two are, well, Iceman's not so bad. Fireman's kind of a piece of shit.
For me,
yeah, it's just.
For me, Iceman is impossible. How are you supposed to dodge his wave of attack? It's like pixel perfect.
I don't know. It's
like,
kind of a war of attrition. Just shoot him fast enough and don't die.
Why does he take 1 damage? And his Ice Blast do 1/3 of your health? Like, every other boss took at least 2 damage, well, except Gutsman. Gutsman was understandable why he took only 1 damage. But why Iceman? And why does this shot do 1/3 of your life?
I didn't remember that it did. I know that Elecman can kill you in 3 hits, but and his shot takes up like 75% of the screen. Fucking hate that boss. Like, even going into that fight with the cut boomerang, it's still a crapshoot if you're gonna make it out alive.
This is the best song in the game. I love it so much. I like this version of it too. Oh.
There's an actual song that exists that is very similar to this. I don't know what it's called, but I've heard it on the radio a few times. It just has it's like a recurring like riff or whatever.
Gotta be careful with these Riz ropes because they do 4 hearts of damage.
Gotta be quick.
I think that's enough hearts. And with this room setup, in which these do 2 universal hearts of damage.
Yes.
Okay, and then I do what? Oh, I'm immune to stuff.
Yeah, these are supposed to be electrical sparks, but you wouldn't know from looking, because it doesn't look like it at all.
I know it's electrical stuff. Just, yeah. Anyway, never got past Iceman, so I stopped playing, look at a stream of yours, now I know the order. However, I do, instead of doing Bomb Man first, I do Guts Man first.
I guess that's fair enough.
I do...
As long as you go into Elecman with the super arm, then you're fine, because it sucks having to do that level twice to get the magnet in.
Wait, what was the thing? I did not want to go in, thank you.
Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't want to listen to the music more?
I listened to at least 3 loops of it. I think that's good enough.
And I see we're maxed out on rupees. Too bad there's fucking nothing to spend it on.
I can spend it on 2 bombs.
This is true.
So not only are we immune to electricity, we're also immune to ice, the deadliest thing around.
Of course. I think that ice does like fucking 4 hearts of damage. It's like really ludicrous.
And I think in Mitch, doesn't it do like 16?
No, the highest you can have a damage combo do is 4.
But in Zelda Classic 250, you can have the one do 32 hearts.
Oh boy.
Which, you can't even have that many hearts.
You might be able to in 250. I know you can at least have 24.
Okay, I know the theme here is ice, but what do you do?
Use the candle.
Oh. Right, because fire is super effective against ice.
I like that one, because everyone up to that point is do something with the statue, and so you have to think outside of the box.
Speaking of being super effective, I had this idea for like this Pokemon RPG where it's kind of a cross between Pokemon and Final Fantasy. And I wanted to rework the type effectivenesses and stuff. I had this idea for like, say, water versus fire. And for water, I would have 2 versions of it. There would be Torrential water, which is like pressurized water, and air water, which is stuff like bubbles, or stuff that isn't exactly torrential. And torrential water would be good against fire types that have fire active, whereas air water would be for those that don't. And those would be the 2 different fire types, those that have fire active and those that don't.
I mean, I guess. I don't know if it would need to necessarily be complicated further, but I'm usually okay with that in depth.
Torrential water would be good against rock, but air water would not harm it at all.
That would make sense. And I'm loving the speed of this fucker.
I like to imagine with these...
Want to use arrows against it?
Would only drain my rupee counter, oh no. With those land molas, every time I fight them, or Patras, when they only have the 1 part remaining, I like to imagine they're like saying, I can explain. Because they're just defenseless. Oh wait, I don't have the ladder. Oh, I can still do that.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you can get your stuff stuck. Except you can't burn that part for some reason. I guess you can only burn the rocks?
I probably only have burn flat. Okay.
Yeah, only the rocks can be burnable.
Still looks like you could probably get yourself stuck there. I never thought about that.
Now we play the game of move up and left repeatedly.
Yes, I am good at the game make.
Come on, where do I go?
No, you had it.
Had it.
Had it.
Can I reset?
No. I mean, you're not stuck. You're fine.
No, I think I'm stuck.
You're definitely not.
What do I push? What did I do? Oh. See, my brain was thinking, hey, you can push a rock inside another rock. Now
you
what do I
can
do?
with just leave.
You mean this leave?
Well, there was a door down there, but this also works.
And I just didn't know what to do, so whatever. Now we can do 6.
856 bucks.
Man, I can't believe I did a run of Mega Man 1, and like, I beat the Yellow Devil without the I beat the whole game without the pause trick.
I think I've done that before, but it is difficult.
I'm good at that, but I'm not good at dodging Iceman. And I fight Bomb Man last because I just cannot use his bomb at all.
It's not a very good weapon.
Like, why doesn't it explode on contact like the actual Bomb Man? Like, that's what bombs do, right? They just blow on contact with anything, except your own hand. No, I pushed that.
I like my little half-block bridge things. They're not. I don't think they qualify as puzzles, but they're interesting nonetheless.
Interesting, but shouldn't really be used more than like twice, maybe.
Well, I think I only ever did use it twice.
Now I have the step ladder, and in which that you cannot move in a direction it doesn't want you to.
Yeah.
I heard some quests actually like make it 4-directional.
There might be a quest rule for that, I'm not sure. I know there's a quest rule for allowing blocks to be pushed into solid objects. Because you were just talking about that.
Continuing on with the Mega Man subject. Moved on to 2, thought it was like the easiest one ever. But then I played difficult mode, and it sure was a difficult Mega Man game like that. What do you think's like the canon difficulty?
The difficult mode is because the Japanese version didn't have a option, it was just always the hard one.
I see. Everything takes 1 damage from Mega Buster. Whereas in difficult mode, they take like 2 to 4.
Go to the right first here.
Okay. And here we have the quietest song in the game. Or maybe second quietest.
It's not even a very good song. Here's the world's most pointless map, because this level is a straight line and there's like no reason to have it. But I wanted to stick it somewhere.
Oh, right, isn't there... Yep, I remembered right.
Yeah, money you can't hold. Cool.
No, it's the rupee boss. With another rupee, because you already defeated it.
No, keep going to the right.
Oh. See, I knew you go right for a heart piece, but I thought that was it. Here we go. I thought it was a maze. Maybe I'm thinking of Mitch. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of Mitch. And then I moved on to Mega Man 3, and oh my gosh, Mega Man 3 is the hardest one I've ever played.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I feel like 3 is easier than 1 and 2.
You see, my main struggle with 3 was Woodman's Revenge.
Well, yeah, that boss is bullshit. Like,
Like,
the Doc Robot stages in general
like
are kind of awful, but
from what I understand, he has 2 weaknesses. One of them is Snake, and one of them is, what is it?
I don't remember. I never remember what the remix bosses are weak to.
Like, whatever I used, I didn't use Snake. I used whatever else he was weak to. And, I did not have a good time. Like, literally the only way I could dodge his attack was Rush Jet. That's the only way I could fight him at all.
Good. I mean, at least if it works. Nope. This is a weird room, but I like it.
The other bosses kind of sucked too. Like, I generally hated the revenge bosses, but Woodman, especially the stage he was in, I was trying to do it save stateless.
Woodman wants to be the guy.
He definitely wanted to be the guy, because he wanted to kill Mega Man so bad that he buffed up his leaf shield. You call me useless? Well, now I am impossible to defeat. I did see leaf shield used against Airman. It did like half his health.
It does do a lot, it's just hard to hit with.
The strategy is don't attack until you got past the part where he stops blowing his tornadoes. Then get behind him and then attack. Also, what do I do?
Go back up into the top right corner, and then you should be able to push a block there.
But I am in the top right.
Well, like, go as far up as you can here, and then can you push that right? Yeah, there you go.
I clearly do not push blocks for long enough. I push it for like 1 frame too slow. And then what?
Just random 2 seconds of Concrete Man, or no, that wasn't that. What was that one? That was Nitro Man, I think. It was one of the ones from 10.
I've seen 10, but I don't remember that at all. Oh, no.
I need to play 10 again, and then play 11. I've had 11 for very close to a year now. I got it for last Christmas, and I still have not played it.
And then what? Oh, I go in here.
Yeah, I seem to have this weird fetish for those rooms where, like, the sides lead to the opposite side, and you have to do, like, a weird back and forth bullshit to get through. They never make any sense.
I move on to Mega Man 4 and 5 and 6, and then it's just... They sure are Mega Man 4, 5, and 6. Although in 6, I didn't get that item that automatically refills any weapons that are categorized as needed.
Yeah, the energy balancer.
No, that's what it's called.
I think 5 is the easiest in the series, but I've seen people struggle with that one.
5 is the one with Gravity, Star, and that's all I know.
Yeah. The order I do it is Star, Gravity, Gyro, Crystal, Napalm, Stone, Charge, Wave.
Although I do know that Wave Man is like the hardest boss ever, because his attacks are just undodgeable, and even with his weakness, you still might die.
I don't remember Wave Man being that hard, but it's been a while.
Like, I think all you really do is just shoot his torpedoes until he stops firing. And then...
Well, Wave Man doesn't have torpedoes. I think you're thinking of Dive from 4. Wave Man's the one that has, like, the trident and, like, shoots water jets out of the ground.
Oh, gosh. Not liking that I don't exactly one-shot these guys.
Yeah. This room's a little bit horseshit, but if anything, it
Ow.
teaches you the importance of learning how to get out of the like danger zone with Wizrobes. They're
Arrow-
easy to manipulate.
Do arrows work on these guys?
They do not. They are only damaged by the sword, bombs, and the hammer. If you want to leave the screen and come back, you can refresh the heal spot.
Oh, right, because it's a fairy. Spelled with I-E. No.
Oh no!
No.
Let's play.
How much of all these basics have you seen?
Not
Too
much.
much.
I watched Vinny play some of it, and I think Simple Flips. I don't remember.
Have you seen the Mario mod of it?
The one with all the buffs, yeah.
It's really hilarious. How Mario is baldy.
Once you do, I'll let you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
And then she counts until 100.
God.
I still don't know where Bup is from.
It's a noise that Toad makes in Mario Kart 64.
I don't hear a Bup anywhere. And I main Toad.
I seem to remember that being a thing.
Actually, I more main Yoshi in Mario Kart 64. Yoshi is, I think, not only the fastest character, but also just the right amount of weight you want to work with. That said, he still spins out for no reason sometimes.
Mario Kart 64's physics are super jank.
Heavyweights are a good counter for lightweights. The middleweights are the worst characters, Mario and Luigi.
I like using Luigi in some of the later games, like in Wii and 8. With 64, I usually pick Wario.
Wario's not a bad choice since he's a heavyweight and can't get spun out by characters, but he can.
I'm gonna win.
I think Bowser's the best heavyweight. For some reason, Bowser has different properties with acceleration, but only if you rapidly tap A.
Do you need to know what to do here, or are you just gonna...
Yeah, I need to know what to do here.
Go to the right, get on the ladder, and then just kind of wiggle. Yeah.
Oh. That's a thing. Ooh, interesting. I see. No, no, no. Don't care. It'll work eventually.
Don't want what you're selling.
No, they can get hurt. They can get stunned by it, but stay stunned for 0 frames.
Bullets given by Bat Boy can use. Oh, here's my other go-to puzzle whenever I don't know what to do. Invisible Maze. So, how many stupid puzzles do I have? They're throw a bunch of blocks at you and figure out which one to push, or which ones to push. There's Invisible Maze. There's all 4 sides of the screen can like loop around to the other side, and you have to wander around uselessly. And then there's just bullshit like burn the map.
I usually don't have a problem with one-screen invisible mazes in Zelda Classic, because I can usually cheese them by holding 2 directions at once, and the character locks onto whatever direction can be go to.
By the way, boss.
At least the difficulty actually matches compared to... Oh. Panhandles are kind of weird in their speed-up thing. I noticed in Zelda 1, if you bomb exactly...
If you get close to dying, go ahead and use the potion.
No thanks. I want to save it for the rock section. I hate that section so much.
But you're gonna have to waste it before that. Like, you cannot keep the potion through level 5.
Do I waste one potion or waste both potions?
You have to use all. You have to completely empty your potions.
Oh, do I get another potion later?
You can buy one.
Okay.
Because the letter takes the same item slot as the potion bottle, and you get the letter and have to use it in order to progress through level 5, so you basically have to, like, waste it to use it.
Hmm. Forgetting what to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was saying with manhandles is that I noticed in Zelda 1, if you bomb... I mean, if 2 heads disappear at the same time, it only speeds up by 1 stage. In Zelda Classic, it doesn't check that. It doesn't check that you bomb it at all. It only checks how many heads it has.
That's kind of interesting.
That's how I get it, at least. Oh, wasn't there a key here? Or did I already use it?
You did.
Oh. Dang it. Oh, right, I go down and then up. On the subject of mazes... Is it...
Level 5.
Well, not that, but like... Personally... I actually have a favorite maze level. It's from Gex 1. It is called The Project. And that level is like... like maybe 1,000 screens of maze. It does have 5 different exits, but you need to get the remote, and the remote's only in 1 exit.
Oh god.
Actually, there's 6 exits. And one of the exits leads to a Easter egg, but not the remote. It's a very strange Easter egg. And there's...
Is it a lewd picture of Gex?
No, it's just you fight a human. A very poorly animated human.
Good.
And when you hit him, he barfs.
Is that game rendered in 3D or is it sprites?
It's sprites. It's 2D.
I've seen a little bit of it, but it's been a long time.
I'm very curious to know what was the wall that you got stuck on.
Yeah, I don't know.
It must have been in level 1, because I don't see the wall otherwise.
I mean, I have distinct memories of playing Mega Man The Wily Wars on the Sega Channel back when that was a thing in like 1994 or whatever, and going through Woodman stage and just encountering a wall that I couldn't get past and not knowing what to do. And every time I've played the game since then, I think about that, because there's no wall in that level. Like, it just doesn't exist, so I don't know what it was. Like...
Let's see. I have some amount of memories of, like, remembering games looking like this and not that. Ocarina of Time is one of them. And the place I remember looking very different is Kokiri Forest. I remember that place looking very different when I watched my other siblings play it.
Do you just remember it being a lot more impressive looking than it actually is, or...?
I remember it being more hilly and filled with more trees that are not necessarily houses. Like actual trees you could run around in.
Yeah.
Much like Martin's dream.
The one with the bucket boss?
No. I meant the dream
I
of...
know, that's just...
Not dream as in sleep dream, but dream of having a Zelda game where you could run around in a forest.
Right. I like the bucket boss, though.
Anyway, Gex it really is a classic. It is worth a play if you can get the urge to play it.
I mean, maybe someday.
I would definitely recommend it before Gex 3.
I tend to be more interested in collectathons over platformers, but I don't know.
I will say that Gex 1 is kinda difficult, much like other classic platformers. Also, what do I do here? Oh.
The green, yeah, there we go.
There's like a whole bonus world in Gex 1 that is basically utilizes one ability and one ability only. And it's freaking hardcore, much like the new Soup games and their bonus levels and their gimmicks. There's even just one level where you just fall. You do a whole minute of just falling.
God, it sounds like the gang of Buttsville on Earthworm Jim.
Okay, I'm done with level 3, so now what? What am I
this is
supposed to do?
What you're supposed to do is either go back into find the answer to progress, or pay 100 rupees to just have the answer given to you.
Okay, well, I might as well. I have nothing better to spend it on.
I guess.
Besides, there's a million ropes.
Yeah. You won't be getting another wallet. I guess you probably should have bought this earlier then. But, yeah, you won't have anything to spend money on, really, until after level 5, I think. So you'll probably get back up to max before then.
Okay.
Actually, no, you'll have to buy super bombs for level 5, never mind. But, yeah, you'll be fine.
Should be.
If I knew you were going to buy the hint, I would have told you to do it.
Usually I do, even whether or not I know it. Just to say that I did. I don't think the game flags it, though. No.
It's the number itself.
I'm out of bombs!
Oh, no.
Do ropes drop bombs?
I don't think they do.
I could just buy bombs.
Yeah. Blue Octoroks and Moblins definitely do. I think Dark Nuts do. I don't remember what enemies
I'll
do.
kill 9 enemies and then kill the 10th with the bomb I don't have.
Yes.
Except I just took damage. So that can't happen.
I don't know if that trick works in this anyway.
By the way, do you have any questions? This includes
Just,
chat?
Just like in general.
Yeah.
I can think of some stupid ones.
Sure. This isn't the bomb shop.
This shop has feet. Let's see. Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, and what is your favorite show from them?
Cartoon Network and, I don't really have a top favorite. I liked just about everything I watched from it, but I used to like Johnny Test, Chowder, I definitely like Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, that was always a good one. Chowder was a little bit past my time. I've seen a few episodes of it, and it seemed pretty good. I just wasn't really at the... That was in my point... that was at the time where it's like I wasn't too old for cartoons because I still liked watching them, but I didn't go out of my way to watch them very often.
Okay, what exactly... Oh, do I bomb the 4? Oh,
Yeah.
Bomb the 4.
4.
Man, Chowder gets freaking weird as the series goes on.
I liked the one where, didn't the... Was it Chowder or was it Gumball? Where, like, it just kind of degenerated into, like, rough sketches and became, like, super Fourth Wall-y.
I know Chowder becomes 4th Wally.
I know there's a part where like they start a fire and he's like, "Look what you've done!" Now fire. Like, I remember like nothing of that show.
Hey, I'm pressing bombs. Why am I not? I like how I liked how that played.
Yes.
I do know a show in Chowder where like Chowder gets called a scatterbrain and then suddenly he gets smart for no reason. And at the end, he's so smart that he's aware that everyone's in a cartoon.
Oh, good.
And then tries to rewrite the entire thing. But then everyone else is like, Chowder, look what you've done. Now even the viewers are upset.
Go ahead and do that. This is just for opening up a shortcut.
Go ahead and do the shortcut.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just always pick the one on the left.
Yeah, I'm a bit aware of how warp rings work now. +1, +2, +3. That said, I'm still not entirely sure, like what goes where. Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. That was it.
And now we could. This is one of my favorite songs. I think this is actually my favorite song in this quest.
It is a good song. Tim Follin does make some good music.
On the subject of this music, I tried listening to it from the download, and it sounds slightly different.
Zelda Classic kind of changes some of the instruments in MIDI sometimes. It's really weird.
Actually, it's how it sounds right now. Like, what I heard from the download is what I'm hearing now.
Maybe 250 plays the MIDIs correctly then. Because there's been a number of times where there was a certain song I wanted to use, and then I'd load it into Sequest, and it just wouldn't sound very good. Like, in BA3, I was going to have Alphys's theme from Undertale, and there's a few parts of that song where it kind of, the notes sort of slide, and whenever it does that, Zelda Classic doesn't like it, and it'll go like massively out of tune. It's really weird. So I had to have somebody basically edit the song for me. There's been entire songs I've just had to drop because they just didn't work at all.
Sorry for a minute, but on the stuff, this also brought it up in my head. Block music of. Do I still have it? Do I still have it? Do I still have Thing? No, but I still have This Is What I Think of Your Fruit. Oh yeah, this. I created these 8 Chow to feature in a special race I'm creating. Can you recognize any of them?
Well, the second one's obviously Sonic. You got the Bikdip one at the beginning. Other than that, the second on the bottom looks like a Torchic.
These are Bargo, Sonic, Link, Celebi, Spyro, Kazooie, Sly, and Plock. Plock
Okay,
specifically
yeah.
without his limbs.
Yeah, I can see that.
I might still feature them in a certain race, just because I don't know what other race to do. The type of race I'm doing is like a party race that can end in 7 different ways, and each one of them has a different gimmick, and you won't know what gimmick you get until you start the race.
I've never seen anything with Chow, so I have no input on this.
Oh, I am a serious and huge Chow fan.
Yeah, I know. I did have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube very briefly. Played like 2 levels of it, and then no longer had the game, and so I never got to experience any of that. I've never really had much of an inclination to go back and play it.
That's too bad. Sonic Adventure 2 really has some high-quality 3D stages. Perhaps one of the best of the entire Sonic 3D games. Especially City Escape.
I know City Escape. I don't know what other levels are in that one specifically.
How did that not hit me?
That's a good question.
I thought magic was the only thing that could hit me on half tiles.
Not sure.
I know Mirror Shield can reflect them. I think.
Pretty sure it can. Oh, blue whiz robes, you're so fun.
No, they're green whiz robes. And green's your favorite color, so I refer to him as favorite whiz robe.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Where's the boomer? Now the boomer
Where are my
doesn't work.
lasers at? Sorry. I'm channeling letters. What's that possible?
Anyway, like, I'm creating certain Chow races in which... In Chow races, you can't really control your Chow except by consuming some stamina to make it go faster. And I have some races where that stamina is required because no one frickin' raises stamina. They think it's the least important stat. Like, no, use it. Like, even some mods that already exist that weren't made by me require stamina.
Yeah, and I don't really have much input on that, but I guess if it's like
don't you hate it when
people do frequently ignore and you want to take advantage of that, then fair enough.
like when some games just have one
Remember,
useless
use
thing.
the potion if you need to. Go to the left first.
Oh. When you see a game that has like a useless thing, don't you feel compelled to try to make a challenge that it forces to use it?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's the beam in the untriforce room. Come on. There we go. Yay, magic shield. Or church shield.
Churches.
Sapphires.
These I can open the gate to Garash.
Okay, here's the part where I got hit, reset for no real reason because I wanted to get my sword back, not realizing that you get your sword back later.
Yeah, this section is designed to force you to get hit. You can get through it without if you're willing to reload the room often enough, but it's kind of annoying.
If RNG's on your side, which it isn't. Man, why must re-releases of games...
Check the letter. I don't think it leads to anything, but just making sure.
Why must some games... Like, you have some games, they have decently working RNG,
Okay, yeah, it's just enough.
but then a re-release comes out, it destroys the RNG and makes it predetermined. And therefore, when trying to make mods for such games, you have to realize this RNG is not actually RNG, it's always the same. Assuming you're pitting something with the same stats every time. But thankfully, there does exist mods that specifically make the RNG work again in some games.
Well, you've got one bomb left, and you're gonna need it.
But it's not a super bomb.
Go back down. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I think you need the wand for this. Never mind. You have to burn that rock on the top right, but I don't think you can reach it with the candle.
Oh. Is it for the super secret?
Yeah. There's the thing you have to bomb.
Gotta go up, but first, 99% force damage. Oh, I need the ocarina. I got hit by nothing. I got hit by the 5 frames before the rock spawned.
Just the mere thought of the rock was enough to show. Oh yeah, you can't do this without the sword. Never mind. Okay, well it'll be open later.
Do I go beyond the sun with the eye? I know it's called
Yeah.
Dig Dogger, but it's totally a sun.
Yeah, you have to just ignore it. There's no reason to actually kill it other than to get the started.
Yeah. Oh, what? how exactly does a Jinx work? Is it, like, painful to draw your sword? Just having it out at all just hurts you? I had the sword out. Oh no, I got Jinx. I must put my sword back. I can't possibly draw it out. Did you say something?
No, I didn't.
Oh. That's how I assume Jinxes work. Sword Jinxes.
Maybe.
And item Jinxes maybe the same way.
I like the boulders bouncing off of nothing in midair there. That was good.
Are they made of cardboard? Oh, I have the ox. But I probably shouldn't because I don't have a bomb. But I have a
you don't
boomerang. Wait, can I use the ocarina here?
You can use it anywhere, but go in the cave with the Wizrobes. Or I guess... Yeah,
I'll
use
try
the
it.
potion. Use the potion. You're not gonna be able to hold on to it for much longer anyway.
Okay. Sometimes these Wizrobes appear at a perfect 60, sometimes you can't see them at all. Sometimes they don't even look like they're teleporting. Now, what is my reward?
More Wizrobes.
I don't have to fight them.
True.
If I was designing a game, I would make literally every screen have at least a point to fight enemies. Every screen. Defeat enemy, 5 rupees. Wait, what?
Nothing. You didn't miss anything other than the rupees that Digdogger was guarding. I guess, unless
Yeah, I
you
don't-
care about those, you're good.
I know Digdogger's do 2 damage. I'll get them later when I can actually hold them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, you can just whistle wherever. And,
I'm
progress.
kind of aware of how the whistle works, but I never remember what's the default. Is it always 1?
Probably. I don't know. I think if you've never used it before, then it considers you 1, so facing right will send you to 2, and facing left will send you to the highest you've unlocked.
And I think up goes up a number and down goes down a number, if I remember correctly.
It's the same direction that turn signals work. That's how I remember it. So down is left and up is right.
Also, that's a dog. That's a dog.
Go down
dog.
a screen.
Hmm?
Go back and then go down a screen.
Oh.
I think that's where the heart piece is. It's just kind of sitting around. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, Mario Sunshine. People say you're the most fluently controlled game. It really isn't.
I like the controls in that game, but it has plenty of issues.
My issues with the game is that when you're on the ground, everything is very okay, but the moment you're in the air, that's when the controls suck. And if you don't have FLUDD, good frickin' luck trying to get control.
Yeah.
Mario 64 DS is pretty much that. On the ground, it's okay, but the moment you're in the air, just ugh.
Yeah, well, you know my opinions on that game.
Even so, I don't have much problems with air controls. However, my most hated part of the controls is that when you're on a slope you accidentally got on, then it's uncontrollable. If you you know how when you're on a steep slope you get a jump off and you have to try to control yourself to put yourself back in safety? If you move in any direction, you'll speed up, including if you hold back. You have to hold nothing to slow down.
That's really weird.
That's where I hate the controls the most. Oh yeah, and the fact that if you're not Luigi, you swim at the speed of molasses.
Yeah.
Luigi, look.
And the enemies are far more punishing. And since Luigi's not strong, his punches are like the range of Luigi himself, not his fist.
Oh, good.
I do like the fact that Wario makes fighting super easy, yet he controls horribly.
So this is the part of the game where we just play the whistle 5,000 times.
Alright, now we're up against Goria, so I can show up... Well, I defeated the only Goria. Okay, there's the Goria. My strategy against Gorias is just be on the half tile axis there are, and it has to be vertically so that the boomerangs will never hit you, but you can hit them. That's how I fight them. Any secrets on the screen?
Nope.
How about this one? How about this one?
Nope, like I said, if anything comes up, I will let you know.
Okay. You doing alright there, by the way?
I am actively getting mauled by a bear.
A bear? We have to fight 12-head? Nope. However, we do have to fight Octorok on crack.
Yep.
Okay. Just stun it once and we'll be good. Please?
No, you got it.
I know, but I couldn't swing my sword because I was on the edge of the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jeez, that thing has 20 HP or something.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Is this clock supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, it's your first time fighting.
It's probably like the only one in the game.
This room I like to refer to as the Undertale room.
How
At
come?
least in BA1. But it still seems Undertale-y in this room. I call it Undertale room because of the Metaton color puzzle.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Okay, so there's a shortcut here.
I was ahead of my time.
By about how long, I wonder?
Well, I think BA1, the NES graphics version of BA1 was made in like late 2002, possibly. I don't remember. It was. Oh, did you want to go back and get that heart case
Which heart piece?
on the Undertale one?
Oh. Didn't realize there was one.
Yeah, it was just kind of sitting there.
Sitting there?
Yes.
Oh, good. I've been through this place so many times and I still don't quite remember the layout. Even playing it on Cavin's Master Quest 2 ROM hack. And yes, Fourth Crappiness is a stage in that game. Or hack.
That sounds kind of amazing.
Well, I guess in 3D it's kind of a bit worse. I do actually plan on streaming Master Quest 1 and 2 again. I did stream them before, but they're not archived, and Master Quest 1 was not commented at all. I really don't like blind playthroughs, even doing them myself. Especially myself. Like, trust me, you don't want to see me get angry nowadays. You just don't. I don't even enjoy it.
Do you degenerate into, these games, you bunch of fucking poopy ass dicks?
I don't become offensive to the game, I become offensive to people.
Oh, good.
I don't want to do that. Like, I become so selfish. Enough talk about that.
Do you, mind if I mute you for a sec?
Okay. Meanwhile, I can try to come up with more subjects. Oh right, I don't have bombs. problem? I think that's gonna be a problem. Let's go buy some bombs. Or not. Left, right, left, up. Might as well talk about maybe future plans. I did say I'm in the Mario 64 stream. After these series of streams, the point of these streams is to, like, try to motivate me better to get back into recording videos, as well as teach me about streaming more. Like, what I should realize when streaming. I did learn a lot from the Mario 64 one, and that is to never stream for a long period of time. My voice gets so tired. I should never really stream for that long unless I have a good reason to do it. As for video plans, I'll say I'm here again. After these series of streams, I will get back to Sonic Adventure and do all of its bonus content. I still won't do Chao and get the 130 emblems. I'll do Chao when I feel like it. Man, that playthrough's gone on for way too long. And after I do all I needed to of Sonic Adventure... No!
I have returned. I don't know if you were talking to me at all.
Don't worry, I wasn't. Can I get this?
Not right now.
Okay. Can't overdo this. Anyway, after doing the bonus videos of Sonic Adventure, I plan to get back to Donkey Kong 64 and finish that up. After Donkey Kong 64, I'm not sure if I want to do Spyro 1 because of EPXXE and its whole putting itself in the Windows registry type stuff.
What do you mean?
I heard from the Tomb Raider stream, Joel explaining EPSXE's shenanigans that it does. When you install it for the first time, it stores its settings in the Windows registry. So if you want to use a later version of it or an earlier version of it, you just can't.
Oh. Okay then. I don't remember that.
Should I
also, this is real good here. This is not how this is supposed to work. Usually, there's like 3 different things that you can pay for, and the rocks are blocking the ones in the center and the right. So I don't know if this is actually going to let you even pay. If you want to try it, go to the left and like wander around and see if it activates anything. But it looks like no. It looks like it just doesn't work.
I didn't want to play the whistle. I can't even use. Oh, I've been jinxed. Oh good,
Well,
oh good. They don't spawn ghosts like every other grave.
They don't, because the ghosts in this game have been reskinned into something else.
Oh boy, when I get to that level, I have a history with that level. It's freaking glorious. Good,
and now you
good
get to
bubble
wander
placement.
in and out of this screen until the bubble decides to not.
So yeah, because of the whole EPSXE thing going on, I'm not sure if I want to do Spyro 1 anymore. That was the original game I was intending to do, because it was in the same selection as in the poll as DK64. So I'm not sure what game I do want to do now. After DK64. My playthrough of DK64, by the way, is not only 100%, 101%, but also it's like
It's every banana coin, right?
Every colored banana, every banana coin, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
All And I'm trying to challenge myself to have only 2 melons and 50 ammo, and the 50 ammo actually did serve a problem at one point. Like, when I was doing the mechanical fish, I had exactly 1 peanut to spare. And I didn't actually realize it.
I like how you remembered where that was.
I kinda did. I'm not used to having no potion. Or more accurately, if I know I had a potion before, I'm not used to having no letter.
Well, you'll be getting it pretty soon.
Rope 2s, why can't you drop as much money as you rope 1s? Come on, we're so close to level 5.
Everyone's favorite level.
Oh right, I have to trade my bracelet
Yep.
or my medallion.
And so begins the part of the game where I didn't know what to do with the available space in the overworld, and so I just kind of stuck shit everywhere.
I guess it's fine. It should be.
One of the bushes on that screen has money.
Has money.
Oh, well, I guess you'll want to wait until you buy super bombs because you can't hold much money anyway.
Well, I don't have the money yet, so I'll worry about it later. I guess. Hello. Man, I love doing challenge runs in games I've already played. One I did
doing them
recently.
in games you haven't played. So it's better than doing them in games you haven't played.
Oh, I do that sometimes. Mainly with Mario 64 hacks. I CCC list every hack I play now, regardless if I played it or not. Some are freaking glorious. Like, they actually eventually devolve into me doing firsty bullshit.
Into doing what bullshit?
First frame wall kick bullshit.
Oh.
There's one I remember in Star Revenge 2, where there's a star, like, ridiculously high up, and you're supposed to teleport to it on a certain star mission. But no, you can firsty up it, and it's... I swear it's like at least 100 first frame wall kicks.
That sounds horrible.
You have to start it on barely any space at all. Once you build up enough speed, go to another wall, which is like at least 5 times more apart. It's frickin' difficult. With some firsty bullshit, sometimes it's not just against 2 walls, sometimes it's like triangles. Or even pentagons.
Yeah, that sounds very unpleasant.
But I do them.
You just go through the left wall here. I know, it's indicated so well.
Oh. Not a big fan of that, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, you go through the opening normal, but then the trees go in the way, so you just kind of have to remember that you can do that.
They plant themselves just like when you rescue the sunflowers in Mario Sunshine from the Yoshi turtles.
Ooh, right, da-da-da.
I can definitely hear them saying, "Ooh, I'm loving it." Armos, you gave me... I think you're giving me as much trouble as you are in BA1 right now.
Jesus Christ. It's the top right one, just to save you a little bit of pain.
It's okay, I can save warp. Or continue warp.
And then probably cause problems in the process, let's say.
Okay. So this is gonna be boring as shit. Thankfully it...
A little bit.
I think honestly this maze is worse than good. Worse than Gex's The Project. Cause in Gex The Project, there's at least a strategy to it, besides hug the left wall. Like, there's like fly coins indicating where you have to go, but it's very specific. But as long as you pay attention to the flycorns themselves, you should be fine. You should realize it very quickly. But
And there was once a point where it is no longer that point.
sorry, you kind of cut out there thanks to Windows and Virus Protection Service.
Yeah, I just said there was once a point where I knew this. That is no longer the case.
I keep hearing I knew this, and then you blank out.
Oh, well, screw it.
It's alright. Might as well talk about other challenge runs I do. One I know I can talk about is SpongeBob SquarePants the movie game. Yes, it is a game, and I freaking love it so much. I'll try not to be spoilery about it.
I mean, I don't care.
In the game, you play through it and try to collect Goofy Goober tokens to progress through the game. They're basically the power stars of Mario games. And you also collect manliness points, which are basically stuff you use to upgrade your moves into macho moves.
Oh, I see.
And the challenge run I did was never upgrade. And the game seriously expects you to upgrade almost everything. Like, it's basically near
Head back.
Hmm?
Head back. Oh, you already got the key.
But yeah, the game expects you to use your upgrades. Use upgrades wisely.
Use bombs, watch.
And I was trying to get through it without defying its expectations. There's a throw move that you have to upgrade into like a super throw move. Or like a ground pound, you have to upgrade into a super ground pound. And the game expects either one or the other, but I didn't have either. And there's these enemies that you have to kill from far away. There's just some that are forcing you to upgrade your throw move. Get close to this enemy and you'll get hurt badly. However, it doesn't give a shit if you're directly under it. If you somehow do that. Those enemies were fun.
So what do you have to like get out of bounds and like attack it from under the floor?
No, you just have to get hit, use invulnerability to get under it, and hit the one pixel you can hit it with.
Hmm.
Also, where am I going?
Fuck if I know. There's. Let me see. You got one of the keys, right? I think there's only one key in this first section.
Yeah, I didn't head all
You're
the way to
good?
the right yet.
Yeah, you want to go all the way to the right, and there's a warp somewhere that'll take you to the gauntlet.
Yeah. And so these enemies that
I think you want to go in the second row. This is probably not going to lead to it.
these enemies that you can't get close to, in later levels they come back.
This works.
In later levels they come back. This time they're armed with rockets. And when they shoot a rocket, when it gets close to you, it splits into 5 smaller ones. And they explode on contact. And you don't have the throw ability against these guys. You have to use the Goofy Goober guitar against them. If you know that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the movie.
However, the unupgraded guitar attack doesn't have the properties that are necessary to take on 3 of these guys at once. Trying to take down 3 of these guys where you can't get close to them. They shoot rockets that split into 5 smaller ones, and they're so far away that by the time you can attack them, you're already hurt. So the only way to get past those is to not spawn them. Hate those guys. And I had 3 HP too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I have not played a SpongeBob game. I know that Battle for Bikini Bottom is supposed to be good, but I've just never wanted to try it.
It is. It is one of the GameCube's best, honestly.
That's surprising.
It is such a good collect-a-thon. It also has high replay value.
Does it have like different playable characters and stuff?
Yeah, it does. You can play SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. And they all have different abilities.
That's kind of cool.
However, you can't play as all three in every stage. You can only play as SpongeBob and either Patrick or Sandy.
Okay.
It depends on the stage. Okay, letter.
Get used to reading. You gotta read this message like times.
Get your super bombs here, you little twerp rat bastard.
I don't know what the hell this guy's problem is, but it's kind of glorious.
Might as well buy multiple.
Yeah, you can only hold 2 right now.
Alright.
And you will be using both of them in level 5. One of them is optional, and then you can buy 3 more afterwards. You get to hear that wonderful message string each time.
I don't mind much. Oh good, this is already open. Is that supposed to be already open?
Yeah.
Like, I remember in one version of BA2, it's not. Like, it's always a thing you have to ocarina.
In the very first release of it, that might have been the case, because whistle secrets are not permanent. So what I did is I had it, I basically made it so that, like, one of the tiles that appears when you use the whistle is a trigger perm. So it's like you step on it and you don't even notice. But then that means that every time you pass through, it'll already be activated.
Okay. Another challenge run game I do. Paper Mario. Badgeless and itemless. I even did an LP of the 64. No badges, no items, except ones that don't benefit me in battle, such as Attack FX or Speedy Spin. And,
Okay, so just to give a brief overview of what your current goal is, so if you open the map up, zoom out all the way. So you've got the row on the bottom, and then you've got a row, well, you have 2 rows on the bottom, and you have 1 row on the top. That leaves a 5-row high area in the middle, and you are in the right half of that. In that section, I believe you want to be collecting 2 keys. And the area is designed so that, like, you have to find both of the keys, take a warp, and then use them up in the gauntlet to, like, reach the next item. But there is a warp that you can take that I didn't actually plan on the player taking that lets you kind of bypass that, and you can basically cheese the system a little bit and save the keys for later. I don't know if you want to do that or not.
I've seen that happen when I watched Joel play through this game. I think.
A lot of people accidentally bump into it, and I always found that weird because I thought I had tested for it, but apparently I didn't.
If I do it, I do it. If I don't, oh well. So, Paper Mario, badgeless and itemless. Oh my gosh, some of the bosses without badges or items is like RNG dependent whether you win or lose, even with the perfect strategy.
I can see that.
Like, you need badges to get through the endgame bosses or super bosses in that game. Yet I somehow managed to beat them without them. Bowser, in particular, is the hardest boss in the game. Of all bosses, Bowser.
Well, I mean, he's the final boss. Doesn't he have, like, 99 health?
Yeah, but so does a couple other things. I thought Anti-Guy Unit was gonna be the hardest boss, because there's an optional boss fight where you know Anti-Guy, right?
Not really. I barely remember anything of that game.
Anti-Guy is a black shy guy that has 50 HP, 10 attack power.
Go back down.
50 HP and 10 attack power. right? Imagine fighting 3 of those guys at once.
Jeez.
I thought that was going to be the hardest fight in the game. Thankfully, they're susceptible to paralysis.
Are you able to, like, super guard and completely block damage or no?
No. It's paralyze them or no-go. You just
Go ahead
can't.
and take the warp.
You just can't survive their onslaught that long.
You don't have to use... Okay, never mind. That's fine.
I'm just seeing...
Yeah. Yeah, I think that locked door and this one potentially skippable. Because that warp is basically just there as a shortcut. You don't have to do it. I thought that you had to take one of the warps, but I have one of them actually send you to a screen beyond the locked doors, and it was just an oversight.
Okay, I want to go that-ish direction. But Bowser, though...
Bowser!
He doesn't seem that bad at first, but then you realize he has the ability to heal himself.
Go back up and then left. I think you're near a hard pace. Okay, yeah, you wanna fidget around.
Just seeing. Just thought I uncovered more of the map.
Yeah. This is the only hard pace in the level.
Like... You basically need Bowser to heal only once. If he heals twice, then it's RNG dependent, and if he heals 3 times, it's definitely a no-go.
I don't think I've ever actually seen that battle. I never finished the game, and I've never watched it play, but...
He can heal up to 3 times, and he heals 30 HP, which is a huge amount of work that you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, I just never been interested in that game.
I don't know how I got past him, like... He healed twice, he kept spamming Thunder, which does 10 damage.
Thunder!
At least he wasn't spamming disable your partner from doing anything attack. Because he especially does that if he notices you have a positive status ailment on you, because it also dispels that. I thought the only way I could fight him was to use Goombario and use Charge over and over and hope that he does not use the Dispel attack. But no, I managed to beat him with Watt. The hothead with a binky.
Yes. Which apparently is, debatable if it's male or female.
I think Watt's a female.
I remember the game, like, using both pronouns at different points.
I noticed that when I watched you play through it. You learn something new from every new player's playthrough.
Okay, so I think your current goal is...
to get to the raft?
If you open the map up, there is a warp kind of in the middle that you want to head to.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I think.
Yeah, I think if you take that warp, before getting the keys, you can kind of skip those. I'll have to see where it dumps you out.
Okay. I like my challenge run in Sonic Adventure. It was just play with bad keyboard controls. But let me tell you, Dreamcast emulators are kind of... Technically it's not garbage, but like... The way the Dreamcast controller works is very strange. It's like when you're on keyboard, it's very strange. When you hold up or down, you go slightly to the left.
That's weird.
When you move diagonally, you get what I call a diagonal boost, where your range is like 200% instead of 100%, and your character actually moves faster from that. So I played Sonic Adventure with those controls. It is perfectly playable.
Does the emulator have like a, does it display what the VMU shows?
Why, yes, it does. VMU emulation. Oh my gosh, no one can get VMU emulation correct, except LSI and Shadow. I'm actually part of a VMU emulator team called LSI and VMU. It actually accurately plays VMU games like you wouldn't believe.
Don't take this warp. It sends you all the way back.
The accuracy on the emulator is so good. It's like dolphin levels of good, maybe even better. However, the one thing it doesn't do is multiplayer. Like, you connect two VMUs together, you link up and do stuff with that. It does not do that. Yet. The next update will feature that. And I hope they do, because it's like, I'm playing Chow Adventure 1 and 2, and that's like the only thing I need to research is VMU link up with those games. So I'm waiting for a long time for LSI and VMU to feature VMU to VMU link up. That's all I need.
It sounds like something along the lines of the like the GameCube to GBA link up, where it's one of those things where most people never bother with it, and so it's not very well documented.
Oh, that emulation deserves more accuracy too. I'm trying to research that too. Like, I'm trying to play the Tiny Chow Garden, which is the thing you download on the GBA, and you can download the game fine, but as for if the... Like, you can drop off Chow into the game and download the game, fine. But on Sonic Adventure 2 specifically, you just can't get your Chow back. You just can't. The emulator assumes you still need to download a Tiny Chow Garden. That's how I'm understanding this. I hope someday that will be fixed. That way I can look at the memory and be able to tell what is going on when you drop off pickup Chow, or in the VMU wise, see what's going on when two Chow play with each other. That's the only thing I need to research. Or I have left to research.
Are you making like a guide for it, or just trying to figure it out for your own use?
I'm making a guide, one, and also helping out Chow Island, the Chow community. I'm actually part of the Chow research team. There are like 6 of us.
That's kind of cool. So, one of those 3 buoys that you just passed, you needed to turn right. Which one it is?
Okay. I'll do another lap. Huh?
You might have most of the map uncovered if you want to just view that.
Okay, which buoy do I want? This one?
We'll zoom out a bit. Let's see. Looks like the second one from the top, because you want to be turning right off of that and then hitting the...
Okay. I'll do another lap, I guess. I hope this is a shortcut towards it.
It probably is.
Okay, go up here.
And then right.
Right immediately?
Yeah.
Oh. There we go.
And then after this, I think the last one is in the top row. You need to be holding down on one of them.
Wait, before I go off. Oh, it's just a straight down. I can speed up with this, right? Yeah, I can. I can speed up on this version of Zelda Classic.
That I did not
I F up? Did I already F up?
Yeah, but that's fine. Like, you can just go up to the top row and then... I don't remember where it is you have to hold down. I think it's one right from there, maybe.
Okay, which one from this one?
It's on a screen you haven't uncovered yet. It looks like it's going to be... Yeah, it's...
Oh, okay, so I have to actually do a full square loop. Get on the...
Man, wasn't this a well-designed level?
It was until the water. If I'm going to be as positive as possible.
Oh, I think it's the left one here.
Left.
God, I hope it is.
There we go. Yay.
Okay, so now you can get the last key, and then you can take that I told you to skip.
Now we're done with the water, right?
Yep, you're basically done with the level of it.
Alright, let's just speed our way back through the speedy sea.
Speed Luigi.
This warp?
Yep. Yeah, I think if you take that one before getting the other keys, you can skip those last couple rooms and it doesn't hurt you in any way. So you can basically just head to that point. Like you can either skip those keys and then like get the ones in the water maze and use them here, or you can just like skip the ones in the water maze, or you can just get extra and use them in the lower level.
Okay, Gleeok, let's do this. I suck at fighting Gleeoks.
They're a little annoying.
Like
The one bubble is what really makes this fight excellent.
in Mitch, I just can't get past the first Gleeok, the two-headed one. It seems really simple, and you make it look easy, but I just can't do it with the max equipment you should have at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. It just takes a certain amount of like bobbing and weaving, to quote Ricky 1. And there goes that.
Excuse me, how did I get hurt
Go
there?
in and bum rush. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so now that horrible level is over with, now we get the worst part of the game, where you get to wander through more rafting mazes and then get molested by a bunch of boulders.
And then barcode.
Yes. I would suggest stocking up on super bombs.
Alright. I think after level 6, we can call this a two-parter.
Okay.
I wasn't intending on doing the whole full game in one go anyway.
Yeah. Depending on when you wanted to continue it, I may.
We stopped at level 6 last time, too. We as in when you were in chat instead of chatting.
Yeah, I don't remember. Level 6 is usually, like, it's not the halfway point. Like, if anything, right now, the halfway point. But, it's the end of, like, before Big Dark takes over, so it's usually a natural place to stop.
It'd be a good place to stop. Because the levels ahead of that are just ridiculously long. Plus, there's a bunch of secrets.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, well, here's a good third of the overworld. Have fun, shithead. Like, you're just kind of able to explore all of it.
Alright, I bought that bomb upgrade, so let's get 3.
Yeah, might as well. I don't know how many super bombs you need for 100% after this point, but I know you need a couple in level 7. You need one to get to level 6 at all. So it doesn't hurt to have more.
Okay, Boulder, I hate. Let's go.
You can also grab that the money north of that one cave.
Where was it again?
It's as far up as you can go past the cave that leads to like the medallion trading thing. I think it's just like 20 rupees. I don't remember how many.
Oh, I'll get it because I'm a perfectionist. Even though I probably missed the secret already.
I think the only one you missed was the rupees from the big dogger in level 4.
I can get that later. I'll probably get that off screen, honestly. Because we already saw it. We already know how to get it.
Yeah. You have to go back there with the wand anyway if you're going for the like Uber secret.
Gosh, why does that not push them back all the time? I know I'm a half tile away from them, but why does that push them half the time? Like, that also killed me in BA1, just, I was too used to fighting enemies.
You can't get rid of that boulder.
Okay. What do I do?
Rafting maze.
Oh, right. The rafting maze.
Everyone's favorite part where you get to hear the secret jingle about 25.
Clearly, I'll go out of my way to replace it with the chow sound. Okay. Let's write this down in my conveniently open sticky notes. Okay.
I hate sticky notes so much. We had to use that at my call center job, and I just refused to.
I miss when sticky notes were like stylishly
Weed.
fonted. I miss when they were stylishly fonted, but now they use one font. They're just a lesser version of Notepad, and Notepad is a lesser version of Notepad++. I love Notepad++. It allows more than just simple text files. You can also do, like, coding language files.
Yeah, I've seen that be used.
Okay.
Weed.
And I'm just gonna stay silent because I don't want to be half-focused this time.
The best part is when you get hit with a fireball and go the wrong direction.
I've had that happen before. Wood. Stone. Yes, yes, I see you, Roach.
Roach.
Yes, a roach. A regular roach. Is there a difference between regular roach and cockroach?
I don't think so, but there might be.
I seem to know, like, my brain tells me that cockroaches are, like, freaking huge and basically impossible to kill, whereas regular roaches are just as killable as any other bug.
Not sure.
The biggest roaches we get here are, like, maybe 1 centimeter.
That's not so bad.
Did I go the wrong way?
Okay, I think you did.
Yeah. Wood. Stone, weed.
Weed.
There we go. Armos. Weed stone.
Mattress, SpongeBob, mattress, sheets, pillow. Alright. Immediately, try to get into the shortcut.
I should not bother fighting, shouldn't I? Just rush. Because I hate this part.
Oh, right, the shortcut is further. Never mind. Okay, yeah,
Okay, what do I do?
Just, the darker rocks can be pushed, like, 2 outside down and then the middle one to the side. Ignore the Armoses, you can come back for this later.
Okay.
You can't heal. So
I was just about to point out, isn't there a secret here? Heart.
Yeah, we can come back for that. Alright, pause. You want to, without pushing, is basically the black ones will move to like a stiff breeze, so try not to press them. You want to get to like, you go up a bit and then there's like the black one that's kind of like in an intersection. Yeah, you push that down and then, okay, and then there you go. And this should be the end. You just have to kill the enemies.
Okay. Get my weapons ready. With item 2.
Ooh, you got a fairy. Okay, since you're healed, go ahead and walk through the left wall.
Walk through the left wall?
Yeah.
Oh. And that's all. And kill 2 more enemies.
Apparently. Yeah, that's it for this area. You can come back and get the Armos after you've done the shortcut, just to remove the penalty of death. Because now you have this.
Alright.
And this is another heart piece, and the other one should be progress. So if you want to go to progress, here you go. If you want to go back and get the money, then that's fine.
Back to the beginning of BA1.
Did you want to go to the armor screen?
Sure, I'll do that.
It's just money again, but I mean, money is good.
Okay, but how do I back through this screen?
Fuck if I know. It's probably possible to get stuck here too.
Let's think for a moment. I don't think you can. I don't think you can get
back.
Well,
let's
screw that
see.
then.
Let me look at it again. Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you actually can't do it. So
you actually have to go through that whole thing again.
Well, it was for like 20 or maybe 50 rupees, and that was it. So,
all right,
not a huge deal.
All right, I'm not going back there with this stream.
Go ahead and cut all the bushes on these screens, because I know there's at least one where there's more hidden money, but I just never know which one it is.
Might as well take the time to talk about LP ideas that I have. One LP idea I have is like a 4-way Pokemon LP where one LP is red, one does green, one does blue, one does yellow.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
As for how that's done, if it's going to be done physically, then we all pretty much need to play the Japanese version, unfortunately, because I also want to do a full Pokedex run without glitches, only trading. That said, I still would like to show glitches.
Glitches are pretty good.
Otherwise, if we're doing it like, say, on emulator, it is perfectly possible to trade via emulator. We can use either TGB Dual 7, which is basically made for Game Boy Link Up, or VBA Link should work. As for how the trade's going to be done anyway, there are translated ROM hacks of blue that basically transform the current blue into the Japanese blue layout, and transforms one into green, with the green sprites and the aesthetics and whatnot, even some text changes.
I remember trying to find a ROM for Japanese blue at one point, and I could never find one. I would always just find, like, green version.
I highly recommend the translated green and blue patches for Pokemon Blue. They're really awesome. The only problem...
I do have a physical Japanese blue. We still just need to replace the battery in it, though.
I have like 3 copies of Pokemon Blue. I don't know why. Anyway, the only problem with translated green...
Go back up to the ferry. There is a secret on that screen.
I forgot. The only problem with translated green is the Cinnabar Island glitch is not there.
Oh, really?
It just isn't. I tried.
Push down from the bush that you cut.
Oh, go this way.
Yeah, all this stuff is meant to be discovered once you have the lens, but it's not needed, obviously.
You know what's one very interesting thing I discovered about the translated green hack? Pokemon Stadium actually recognizes its green version. Even the border is green.
I think I've seen a thing on Imgur about that, yeah.
Very interesting and cool. Perfectly functionable. And speaking of Pokemon Stadium, there's a ROM hack of Stadium that patches the Game Boy Tower to play many other games that just aren't Pokemon. It can't play any game, but it can play more games.
That's cool.
But it has to be on the physical Pokemon Stadium. Somehow...
Also, I think I have Japanese Stadium 1.
Pocket Monster Stadium 2.
I actually don't remember if Martin kept that game or if I have it. I have not actually played it.
Okay, Pocket Monster Stadium 2 is a whole different beast from Stadium 1. Like,
really?
Yes, it has... like, the Poke Cup is different, and it adds 2 more cups called the 98 Cup and 97 Cup.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about that. Those are based off of tournament teams that people use, right?
Yeah, pretty much. In round 2, specifically of 98 Cup, the icons of the people you fight are actually the real people. Like, they're in the Pokemon Stadium art style. It's pretty interesting. And you fight them in random order. Pretty cool.
So I like what I did with this screen.
I watched Wurstorf play through Pocket Monster Stadium too. Okay. Can I do anything here?
You can. You don't need the candle.
Nope.
You don't need any item.
Okie dokie. Is it just a maze?
Kind of.
Is it you push something?
No.
Gosh, I don't remember.
I love it. It's so trolly. I love it. What you're doing right now is exactly what I hoped people would do.
Just circle around the 7 squares you can get in.
Yes. It doesn't lead anywhere else. The true entrance is somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
No, go back. You can still do it. It's the north wall.
Oh, go through the wall.
Yup.
Because
no one would think to do that. It's kind of glorious.
I mean, you can do that in BA1. Why can't you do it here? Did Bargo learn rock climb? Is he confusing everybody yet?
You want to be going generally down and left here.
Okay.
Or down and right, sorry.
Hold 2 directions until something works.
I think you can go above that boulder on the...
I want to go around the question mark.
You want to be going through the middle of it.
Lens?
Like, go down to the bottom. Yeah, there you go.
I was holding 2 directions and he didn't go down. I thought it prioritized down. Like, I honestly thought it prioritized down. Apparently not. I know it prioritizes up.
I never remember what it does.
Prioritizations are weird.
Yeah.
It's like...
Okay, so this way is progress. I don't know if you wanted to try and get as much stuff beforehand as possible.
I could try. But can I, though? Because this area generally seems like it really doesn't want you to go anywhere without the hammer.
There's a few spots that are blocked with the hammer, but you can still check a decent amount of it without.
And I guess go in there.
So yeah, basically the overworld here is split into 2 halves, the north and the south, and there's 2 different methods of getting between them. One of them is the way that you just did, and then both of them have like a different hint. And then the other way is just the like diamond boulder with the staircase in the middle.
Okay, there's your hint for level 6.
Yep.
I never saw that hint before. I guess no one thinks to go back in there.
Yeah, if they take that warp before the diamond staircase, then you get it easily enough.
And
It just depends on how you explore.
And here's the best shop in the game.
Well, you can get your potions, and you can very slowly make a profit.
Nope, I have to go slightly right, so if I did F1, then... Let's see how fast.
God. It's so stupid.
It's still kind of slow and still requires more brain. More ideas? I have an idea for a Mario Party kind of LP, but that would also take 4 players. It's basically just, from a fresh file, unlock everything. And 4 players is the best way to do that. ideas I could have? Not really. I'm a bit dried out on subjects, honestly. It's about that point. So, does anyone have any more questions?
What's your favorite electrobite?
A what?
I don't even know. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right, I forgot. I forgot. I got reminded of, like, the time I was trying to pull out the data from my memory cards. And this is quite a bit in-depth story. Maybe not that in-depth, but still more in-depth than I usually tell stories. So, when my sister was gone in Oregon, I took the time to try to pull out the data on our memory cards, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. Problem: I didn't know where that fourth damn memory card was. And
go left from here. Actually, I want to see if you can get the big wallet before starting level 6. I don't remember if it's blocked with hammer stuff.
And this memory card was actually my main memory card. So this memory card actually had my most precious Chow number and his entire family and friends. And what do you know? It did when I finally found it.
I'm glad you managed to get it.
So it was stuck in a shed this whole time, not in a random tote in the house.
Okay, yeah, I guess you can't do that.
And so I finally launched our Wii, which itself is also really old. I got my SD card out, which had Nintendo and all that. I had to install a thing that let you put your memory card data onto an SD card or USB drive, which is really handy for backups or for inserting your GameCube memory card data into, like, Dolphin. I did that. Had a more difficult time than I had any right to pulling it out, because sometimes I would try to back it up and then it would freeze, so I had to reset. It went on a pattern of, like, first attempt, freeze, second attempt, work. Moving on memory card, first attempt, freeze, second attempt, works. It did this for all 4 of them, except the 4th one took 3 tries. It took a long while. I finally pulled it out. The first thing I wanted to do was look to see if all my Chow were okay. Number was absolutely okay, and I was so happy to finally see his cute little face again. And Ultima's face. Ultima's just a floating face with wings. That's so adorable. Yeah, floating face with wings. Let me show you that. And show everyone. I personally think it's really adorable. Unfortunately, the only image I have with Ultima is with other Chow, but that's okay. Where?
Inferior ones.
Here's the one with Ultima. See? Floating face.
Yeah, sure enough.
It's adorable. And number is the hero Chow on the left.
Alright.
That's my most precious Chow.
Did it just take a really long time to get?
It did. I didn't expect it to be in the shed, though. Okay, so all my Chow were okay, fine. I took a look at Sonic Adventure 1 data memory cards and see if the Chow inside them were okay. They were not. One memory card with the Chow data, and only the Chow data, got corrupted. It must have stayed in the shed too long, and the data got corrupted. And the reason it got corrupted was because somehow the data changed while it was in the shed outside of the game. That's the only reason I know it got corrupted. And the reason I know this is because when I tried pulling the Chow, salvaging the Chow out via hex editor, I changed the data outside the game. I tried to play the game from a non-corrupted data. It got corrupted because I changed the data outside of the game. And one of my Chow there, Emra, was a victim to this. No way I'm letting this system beat me. I'm rescuing her. The way I rescued her is I went to Sonic Adventure 2, created a random Chao I didn't care about, and through a cheat engine, edited the Chao bite by bite. It was slow and painful, but I rescued Camera. Huh?
Nothing. Just that does sound pretty tedious. It was cool that it's able to work though.
I'm glad I got it to work. I salvaged every last Chao. The people at Chao Island were demanding I don't leave one Chao behind. Some of the Chao there I don't really care about because they're obviously hacked anyway. And some of them are even clones of another. While I was doing this, I went ahead and played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle using a broken controller. All of our GameCube controllers are broken and basically unusable, but one I could at least use to the point to where I could race Chao. I wanted to do this because I had some serious tests in my head that I swear to Chaos that there's some stuff that only works on console and not on emulator. I tried doing some serious tests, and none of them were true. After all, what I did on emulator was the truth. I did manage to do some tests I couldn't do on emulator, so that was a plus. Okay, I have my sword.
I don't think there's any reason to kill this.
Too bad I'm killing it anyway.
Alright.
If it's in sight, I must kill it. Except with this game, I don't do that. I tend to do that a lot in games where you fight things. I fight everything in sight. Usually by doing this, I always have enough experience and stuff I need.
Yeah.
But when I fight everything in sight and I still am not good enough, you know there's a problem. Because there's nothing worse in games than forced grinding. Except in the beginning, of course.
I pretty much agree with that, and yet my game.
The thing that sucks about grinding the most is doing the same thing over and over. If you do the same thing over and over too many times, it will feel soul-sucking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So isn't this a good level?
Yeah? What were you thinking? This is basically the project, but blindfolded.
I still like aspects of this level. I think the idea is cool. The execution was just really bad.
Give me my sword back. Can I please touch my sword without my non-existent hand being in pain?
Too hard. Come on, game. Spawn a blue one. There we go.
Oh no, I've been hurt. I can now not get hurt by drawing my sword. Better yet, don't roll out with a sword or I'll take damage. And Bargo does nothing but rolling.
Yes.
Okay. What direction do I want to go for the truth lens?
You're going the right way. I think there's a way to duplicate this rupee. If you can manage to get it, like, when you kill it... So, basically this thing is attached to an invisible wire. And so, like, if you can get it to drop and then collect it and then, like, completely kill the enemy, including the bats it splits into, it'll spawn another one. But it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess I can see that works, seeing how this is a treble. Yay, the part I can actually see.
You probably want to use a potion, because you're coming up on a screen with a shit ton of things.
Do these do a full heart of damage?
I don't think these do, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Also, I guess if you want to get that rupee now, it's probably the best time to do it.
Maybe after the lens.
Okay.
And I'm specifically saying this way because of the Mario 64 Ocarina of Time saying it that way.
Yeah. Alright, so here's, yeah, this is just free money. And, I think there's a warp on this screen that, warps you up a level from this, and, like, then you can't get back, so I would just leave immediately. So left is progress here, and as
Don't
soon
care
as
if
you
you
go
never
left...
beat.
Okay.
I don't care if I can't hold it
Oh.
or not. Huh?
Actually, I forgot. You might as well not get it, but okay.
Like, I probably don't want to come back to this dungeon anyway.
Fair enough.
Oh, good.
Yeah, invisible enemy's cool.
I like to call this room the subscriber special room because that's the thumbnail of one of your subscriber specials.
Fair enough.
There we are. Here we
Just
are.
The checkerboard tunnel. This is an empty building with a weird song. I don't know what the song is from. Probably check the MIDI info, but I don't feel like it.
I enjoyed your Dr. Wily's Revenge stream / LP. Okay,
Yeah.
left is progress.
Yeah, I think right just loops back to the left.
Okay.
Okay, so go up a screen. Don't bother killing everything.
It's too much of a pain.
Okay, now that you have the truth lens, if you die, it's not that big of a deal. So now go.
Though I'm a perfectionist, I don't think I want to, but is there screens I missed on this map?
There's at least one. It's right back at the beginning, but
It's in the beginning.
yeah.
Okay, I can easily do that later. No, use the lens. Did I? Oh, I'm glad I was pressing B expecting the lens, but how did I not use that potion?
Do not know. Yeah, there's no secret paths on this screen.
Okay. Jeez, that drains rupees fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, 4 hearts.
Don't bother with the lens here. There's no paths. It's just if you kill all the enemies, you get a heart base.
Oh. Well, I killed the threat. Kind of. Except I'll die in one hit from this guy. Unless I can get a heart. Which I did. But I'll still die in one more hit. Okay.
I want to say the hook shot can freeze Wizrobes, but it might be more of a pain than just fighting it normally.
I can.
Alright, cool.
Ah!
Oh.
Did he
Alright.
contact me? Why did...
I will attempt to figure out a fast way to get back there. So there's a screen to the right of this.
Oh,
It's-
the right.
It's completely pointless, but it's there.
You know what I also hate in games? When body damage randomly does like 5 times more damage than the projectile threat.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whiz robe. It shouldn't be able to harm you with its body. And then, what do I do from here?
Let me see. So now that you have the lens, you're like expected to find the hidden area. So open the map again.
Except this doesn't make
basically-
sense.
Yeah, I know. Continue until the screen that used to have the dig dogger. That's going to be the first entrance to the binary area. There's 3 ways into it, but that's the one I usually take.
Okay. Oh boy, barcode of maze. This is certainly a project if I ever saw one. Bubbles, you want to show you the way through?
Secret of the way to even before.
Can I?
I mean, Can always bust out the lens.
Good thing these aren't item bubbles.
No, those didn't exist in 190.
I go this way.
Speaking of 190, that was how many rupees you have there. Okay, so yeah, go back up, and then just follow the path until you get into
But I don't have my sword.
Oh, okay.
Why can't the flashing ones give it back?
So that would be too easy, yo. Okay. Yeah, once you get into the like square on the left that's like well defined, you can go left. Okay.
Oh, the left. Well, I've never done it on this screen. Come on, drop lots of parts. You land molars tend to drop lots of parts, and they dropped absolutely nothing.
Good.
Do I want to continue here?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually when I fight those Lammolas, they drop like 3 hearts or even 3 fairies.
They can. Alright, let's go ahead and get the medallion. You don't have to deal with invisible. So down from here.
Oh, down. Oh, did I miss Big Head?
He's coming up soon. Right from here. And here's where it is.
Here?
Yep.
I love this attention to detail.
Okay, so now that you have the major, explore the rest of this section just to see kind of like how it connects. Go for it. Because like the screen where you get the item is the center, and there's 3 ways into it, and each one of those ways is just one screen of easy enemies and one screen of like slightly harder ones.
I'm just seeing what's down here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed anything important. Okay, this is not important.
You've been there before.
We don't want to go to anything that is color black or color white. Except we're already in color black. Might signify the presence of Chowkron. What does Chowkron even mean?
I've never heard of it before. So
I've seen that name exactly twice. There's a Chow named Chowkron, and there's a boss in Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story named Chowkron. And I have no idea what it means. Chowkron in Chowkron the Chow is pretty amazing and kind of badass. He lays there lazily at the start for like a minute or two, and then when he thinks he's good enough, he gets up and goes at ludicrous speed and catches up with everybody. Pretty amazing. Okay, no hook shots can stun Dark Nuts.
Oh, yeah, I guess I can. I thought it was only from behind.
Yeah, you can do it from the side. Oh, apparently you can push him.
That's weird.
And I killed one with the hook shot. Never thought I'd see the day where I can kill a Dark Nut with a hook shot.
That is really weird. I didn't know that was a thing.
And it's only sometimes. I guess it's
I think what's happening is like you're
because
you're
they're
hitting
waddling.
it and then it's continuously walking into you, so like the hitbox is hitting it from behind or something. It's kind of weird.
I guess their shield waddles a bit because they're walking.
Like big headed.
I can't believe a hookshot killed a Dark Nut. So funny. Speaking of Dark Nuts, am I the only one who has patience fighting Twilight Princess Dark Nuts?
I mean, I don't even remember how you usually kind of roll around a lot and try to hit them from behind and usually fail.
The way I fight them is when their armor is on, I wait for them to attack and then immediately counter with a standard combo. It takes 3 combos for their armor to fall off. Their armor is hit-based and not damage-based.
Okay.
If I have certain hidden skills...
No reason to kill these, by the way.
The Helm Splitter works very effective against Twilight Princess Darknuts. Usually to get the Helm Splitter to work on them, you have to get their shields up, and then while their shield's up, Shield Bash, and then Helm Splitter. However, you can't Shield Bash them if their shield is up from the Shield Bash, if that makes sense.
I guess.
Now, when their armor is off, it gets a lot more tricky. You especially do not want to fight more than one Darknut in Twilight Princess. It turns into chaos if you do. Especially in Cave of Ordeals, where you fight like 3 or even 4 of them at once.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm glad you didn't go for the second Cave of Ordeals, because if you go through Cave of Ordeals the second time, there's a lot more enemies, and one of them is 4 Darknuts.
Is there any reason to do it?
No. Except for one unique line from the Postman. Like, the Postman is just randomly there the second time.
Okay, then. He's like, man, I don't know how I got...
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, when their armor is off, it's just a matter of swift swordplay. The only thing you can really counter is their double swipe. But otherwise, getting around them is the most effective. Such as with the backslice. There's no real way to fight unarmored Darknuts, except just being swift, and just realizing, oh, here's my chance to attack.
I'm gonna have to try fighting Darknuts with the hook shot in 192, because I'm curious if that actually works. I feel like that's a 250 thing.
I'm curious myself.
Great, you found the shield. Now head back to the left.
I'm glad hook shots can kill Darknuts in this specific scenario. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's helping.
Just attack until something decides to take damage.
I don't ever remember. I think it's either the top one or the second from the top.
Okay, I'll do that just in the case. I think it's second to top. No, it was top. Speed up. No. Shame that the music doesn't speed up. It's just like Yoshi's Island DS, where you speed up and the sound effects still play at the same speed.
God, I forgot about that.
Okay, time for Cracktorox. What do I want to go in this with? Boomer, I guess.
If you get an unfortunate beginning, don't worry about... yeah, you can... So there's a few ways you can do this. If you... Yeah, you can do like the 90-degree slash, where like you slash up or down and then like pivot while the sword's out. You do run the risk of like moving to the left a couple pixels if you do it though, so it's always a little dangerous.
And these take 10 hits from the white sword.
Yeah. Usually what I recommend on this screen is just kind of like going in and out of it until you get a good setup, and then... Nice. Yeah, but there we go. And just out of curiosity, did you uncover the full...
Did I what?
Yes, you did. Okay.
Thank goodness. Alright, so after this cutscene, I guess we'll just end off here. It was fun while it lasted. 3 hours seems like a good point to stop.
I would agree with that. I'm still proud of this cutscene. It's very, like, unimpressive looking, but the fact that I was able to get it to work in 190 is kind of amazing, because you can't you can't animate tiles, you can't link together text strings, and there's no way to actually make the player invisible. So it had to be in a dungeon D map, so you're just in the bottom, covered by the wall, and yeah. It was
But I
the
can't
best I
use my
could do.
boomerang. I can't just ruin it with the boomerang.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Honest question, what voice do you imagine Bargo and Bikdip having?
I never really thought about it much. I just kind of assumed Bargo sounds like me, and Bikdip probably sounds exactly the same, except maybe slightly emo.
I'm you. No, you're not. You're black, and I'm yellow.
I love how contrived the plot of this game is. It's so bad. The plot of BA3 is going to be a lot more interesting, but it will also have points that are very stupid.
I look forward to it. You know, honestly, of the 3 games you made so far, even though I hated on Mitch the first time, I think Mitch is my favorite out of the 3 quests.
I like some of the stuff I did in that one. I think this game is the best just because it's the most polished and it has the most level variety. But
It is.
Mitch has some interesting designs. I don't mind that game very much.
I guess the main campaign appeals me the most. The whole RPG system.
Yeah.
I think you did a pretty good job with it. You don't have to get the max equipment, but you should get enough stuff to get just the stuff you need. Though the number of paywalls is annoying.
The number of paywalls is annoying and kind of unreasonable. I never did very good balancing with that.
The paywalls in BA1 were the worst when I played through it again.
The fact that I made Mitch in 4 months still kind of astonishes me.
Like, I went into level 8. I got past the paywall of avoiding spending a heart. Then I got to the bomb bag paywall. Didn't have enough rupees. Got all those rupees. Still didn't have enough.
God.
Also, I still had to get the Lens of Truth. And then there was the level 9 paywall. So yeah, lots of grinding. I was not a fan of that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Future plans are going to be, I might do a couple more streams before finally getting back into videos. 2 of which might be just Mario 64 ROM hacks, specifically Master Quest 1 and 2. And after that might be the point where I might start considering making videos, because I don't know what else to stream at that point. Maybe other than maybe some Paper Mario hacks. And that's about it for stream plans. After that, I'll get back to Sonic Adventure and DK64. Anyway.
When do you think you're gonna finish this?
I don't really know. Do you have a specific time you might be free?
I never have any idea. It just depends on whatever my work schedule is, which is different basically every week, and if I have other stuff planned that I'm supposed to be doing, which I often do.
Well, okay. It's okay to finish this just about any time as long as it's not too long. I don't mind if it's like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That might give me plenty of time for more subjects, honestly.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next stream video.
Filmadio.
That too.